Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to a new playthrough. I don't know who's in the chat yet, but hello if you are. Welcome on in. Hello, Pay Good Drink. How is it going? I'm excited today because we're playing Rosewater, which I've been waiting for a little while. I played the previous game from the same developer, Lamplight City, and it's also in the same world as that. Lamplight City I loved. I streamed it, did a video on it. I was so excited for more of this world, and we finally have it with Rosewater, which is more of like a Wild West kind of adventure than a detective one. I'm all for it. I cannot wait. But yeah, I hope you're all doing well today, because this seems like it's going to be an interesting one. Something about Lamplight I have in my library. Oh, it's so worth it. It's absolutely such a good game. Wake up, Bill! Your house is on fire. It's a good reference. Yeah, it's a great game. Insofar as it's a detective game that allows you to be wrong. I'd encourage you to explore as much as possible to get all the cases right, but the fact that you don't have to get them right is really interesting and very, very cool. And it's a very interesting world and lots of great characters. Would love to hear more from that particular cast at some point in the future as well. But in the meantime, we've got a new cast to get to know. In the Rosewater gang. So that's going to be really, really cool. So yeah, we're doing the Rosewater today. We're starting up that as that's going to be a long-term playthrough until it's done. I don't know how many streams it's going to be. I can't find any information about how long this game is. Like, some people say it seems like they've played it for about 9 or 10 hours, and then some people have played it for more. I don't know. Don't know. I'll be streaming this for as long as it takes me to get through it. But I'm all for that. I'm really excited. I loved how that type of detective solving worked in Crimson Diamond. You can miss stuff and get it wrong. Yeah, Crimson Diamond is inspired by the original Laura Bow, which also had a very similar system, whereby basically there are sort of time segments in the day, and if you miss the time segment, where something happens, that's not a piece of information you have. It's only really following like a full-on walkthrough that you'd be able to get every single piece of information. So it encourages replays. I think it's really interesting. I need to get around to the Crimson Diamond, actually. That's on my list to do as well. I will stream it at some point when I have a slot that I need to put an adventure game in. But Rosewater was new. I wanted to do it right away. I didn't want to wait. So here we are. Right. Let's pause the Sam and Max music, because I just want to play it. I want to play Rosewater. Let's get into it. It should all be good to go when I... Oh, that should have... There we go. That light should have been on. Now it's on. Do I have my hat? It's downstairs. So no, not currently. I have a hat, but it's a less good hat. I have this one. It's small, but it kind of works. If you want me to wear that, wear the scarf. I can do that though. Oh god. My scarf is tied to this. All right, there we go. Will that do? Will that do you today then? Did that make you happy? All right. This hat is so small. That's the problem with it. It's not built for a head my size. It's built for a tiny head, and I do not have a tiny head. I have a big brain, and that's just it, really. That's the only issue. I am not entertained. Hopefully, you will be entertained when I click new game. So let's do that. Where's my mouse? Hello? There it is. Hey, I am the bandit. All right. I haven't actually checked the full volume on this. I should be okay. I think I just put it down to there. And then we'll just put the music down a little bit and the sound down a little bit. Keep the voices on full. It should be good.
Boarded the 743 from Pierre-Lorraine for Rosewater, Western Vespuccia. No baggage to speak of, in the literal or metaphorical sense. Just a little hope. And that doesn't take up much space.
Oh, yeah. Such a great cast in this as well. There's so many voices I'm excited to hear.
Much has been said about the Western frontier. The perilous wilderness, the lawless towns, and the tough, hardened folk who make their way out there. Usually to get away from something worse.
It's finally out. It came out a few days ago, Leon.
Myself.
It's here!
There's just one thing Rosewater's got that no place else has. An opportunity with my name on it.
Hello, E-Back. How are you doing? Francisco Gonzalez did so much of this game himself, which is crazy. Hello, Frank.
Excitement and trepidation and boredom mixing like the scrub and rocks and soil into one long blur.
Jess Haskins, script editor. I love the wheels there. That looks so cool. Yeah, a little bit of parallax scrolling. Love that too.
One thing I know. I am ready for a change of scene.
All right. Isn't the isn't that motif from Lamplight as well? Or am I misremembering? I may be misremembering. It's been a little moment since I played it. It might have been from the demo of this game. I can't remember.
Huh. Quiet.
Oh.
Howdy, ma'am. Allow me to extend the warmest of welcomes on behalf of the town of Rosewater and its inhabitants. Folks call me Jim. And who do I have the honor of greeting?
Harley Legere.
Delighted to make your acquaintance. Might I assist you with your luggage? That is, if you've got any.
I don't.
Ah, right. Well, what brings you to our fair town, Mrs. Legere?
All right. One thing to note, if you've played, or seen me play, or seen someone else play Lamplight City, the main character of this game, Harley, is the sister of Bill, from Lamplight City, the ill-fated, detective partner of Miles. I don't see any reason to lie to this man. I'll say I'm here for a job.
Miss. And I'm here about a job.
Planning on sticking around, huh? Say, what line of work are you in?
If you must know, well, I write. There's an opening at the Rosewater Post.
Well, best of luck with that. The editor at that place ain't somebody you want to cross.
Then we ought to get along fine.
I'm sure you will. But as official town greeter, allow me to offer a small caution. Rosewater ain't always such a sleepy little town.
There's a fella there. Oh.
Hey!
Say, I've just remembered another engagement.
Oh, they were
Is
in
how you welcome new
cahoots.
arrivals? I have a mind to give you a thrashing. All right, enough of that. Look, I was no choir girl. But I had the good sense not to get caught. Word of advice, kid. Don't pick your mark in broad daylight, especially not at a lawman's doorstep. Go on, beat it, or I really will give you something to cry about. Now, where in the ether is that damn publisher's office?
I love the backgrounds already. Okay. Walk and drag left click, inventory right click. Okay, show objects, hold or middle mouse button. Alright, so we can just pretty much do it all with like one thing. That's great.
End of the line. Until they connect it up from the coast, anyway.
Do we actually have like we have a proper inventory in this one.
October 25th, 1850. Dear Miss Leger, thank you for submitting your sample. Your writing shows real potential. I'd like to extend an invitation to meet with me at the offices of the Rosewater Post and discuss the possibility of an extended commission. How soon can you arrive in town? I await your reply and look forward to making your acquaintance. Yours, Joan Gallagher.
Alright, so yeah, in the previous game, there wasn't actually an inventory system.
So they do have the law here. In theory, at least.
We can try and go back into there, but we have no reason to. We have no reason to go to the sheriff's office yet. We need to be looking for that, I also punch the child. I'm not gonna punch any children. That's not on my agenda, really.
Soft drink crates. A sugary, fizzy way to beat the heat.
Very nice.
Nothing inside but a colony of ants.
Okay.
Shame. I could go for a sarsaparilla.
Oh, there's a...
I hope that isn't the town water supply.
Oh. And there's a lock here.
Looks sturdy, but there's some rot creeping around the handles.
Interesting.
Can't be a good sign when even the blacksmith goes out of business. No shoes for you, horsies. The local sawbones. This is where all the sharp knives and strong drugs will be kept.
Well, this is where we need to be.
This is the place.
Let's have a look. Okay, just gotta threaten to punch children. I mean, as long as it's only threatening, you know? Oh! I think you missed the exit. You okay?
Holy hell. Are you alright, mister? Don't you move. I'll fetch the doctor to have a look at you.
I'm sure there's
Oh, hello there.
Oh, hi.
I don't think I've seen you around before.
I've just arrived today, but this isn't the time for formalities. There's an emergency.
How can I be of service?
I love his walk.
Some poor fool's just fallen out a window.
At the Rosewater Post?
Yes. How did you...
Oh, he's,
Sounds like Joni's in a mood again. Let's go.
He has a, familiar
There he
voice.
is, poor bastard.
Oh, dear. Hello? Can you hear me? I'm Dr. Sedgwick. I'm here to help you. Can you move your legs? Spine seems intact. No obvious fractures of the arms or legs. That, I would say, is nothing short of a miracle. Right. He's in a bad way, but he'll live. I'll get him back to my clinic and patch him up. You are truly a good Samaritan, Mrs.
Leger. Miss. And it was nothing. If you'll excuse me, I have an appointment to keep.
Of course. God bless.
Is that Neil Ross? Doing the voice of the doctor? Sounds a bit like him.
Hello, can I help you with something?
I'm here about the writing commission.
Ah, yes, you must be Miss Leger. I believe you and Joni exchanged some correspondence on the matter already, yes?
Yep, got the letter right here.
May I see it, please?
I have it right here.
Very good. Oh, one more thing. Joni's not one for formalities. First names will do.
Noted.
Go up those stairs and knock.
Thanks. What's your name?
Henry Dixon, ma'am. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Likewise.
I think his voice is familiar as well. That's, Dave Fennoy?
Excuse me?
How can I be of assistance?
What's to know about this town?
You picked a fine time to arrive, Miss Leger.
Why's that?
A few years back, you could hardly drive a wagon through the street.
It
was
is, okay.
so full of folk coming and going. I'm sure you've noticed that's no longer the case.
There's so many, like, cool voice actors in this game. I'm just trying to listen out for them and go, who's this? Who's this? It's just the way my brain's whirring at the moment. You may recognize Dave Fennoy as Lee from the Walking Dead game.
So where did everyone go?
Wherever the Orem actually is would be my guess. There's still some prospectors hanging on. Convinced they'll find something everyone else missed. I'm sure they'll all come to their senses eventually.
If they all go, where will that leave you?
Why, getting by, I imagine. Peaceful, quiet life. The railroad still brings some traffic. Folks on their way further west or shipping goods back east. Although not as many as before the transcontinental airship line opened up. Easier to sail clear over the country than ride the rails halfway. Suits me fine, though.
Been working here long, Mr. Dixon?
Oh, about 5 years. I was the first one Joni hired on shortly after launching the paper. Was a farmhand before that. Keeping books is much nicer than tending cow pens, let me tell you.
Anything I should know about the townsfolk?
Can't really help you there. I'm just a simple family man, and we keep to ourselves.
I mean, at this point, playing a point and looking up voice actors is a tradition for me during these streams. I mean, yeah, I'm very... I hear a voice in the game and I'm like, who is that? Who is that? I know him. That's just me all over. When I do it all the time when I'm like, watching stuff as well. It's a problem.
Exactly who was that gentleman just took a tumble out your second-story window?
I haven't a clue. Devil of a fella. Just busted in here and went straight for Joni's office. He wouldn't be put off, but insisted on speaking with the editor immediately. Said he intended to lodge a complaint. Suppose Joni didn't take too kindly to his manner of lodging.
He got lodged out the window.
Those are some mighty fine whiskers you've got.
Oh, why, thank you, Miss Leger. The missus tells me I ought to shave, but I'm fond of the look.
As you should be. I'll leave you to your work.
Appreciate it, ma'am.
All right, what have we got in here to look at? Got a nice typewriter.
Cozy.
I like it. We got,
That cabinet's better organized than I'll ever be. Impressive piece of machinery.
And we've got this.
They seem to be pretty active around here. I hope that means steady work.
All right, that's everything to look at, so I guess we'll go see Joan. Or Joni, as everyone keeps calling her.
Come in.
Hello, Joan. I'm Harley Leger.
Ah, yes. Nice to finally put a face to the name. Please take a load off.
All right.
Whiskey?
Bit early for me, but thanks all the same.
Sensible. I like that. I, however, have had a morning, so if you don't mind. Say, have we met before? Something about you seems familiar.
I don't believe so, no.
Well, let's get down to the meat and potatoes, shall we? If you're going to join our little family here, I'd like to know more about you.
Life story, succinct biography, or avoid the question. Well, this is very Tex Murphy. I feel like this kind of option is like exactly in those games. Okay, I think a succinct biography is pretty good. Let's do that.
Me? Well, I was born and raised in New Britannia. Got out, made my way west, and started writing. I saw your ad while I was up in Pierre. Thought a change of scenery would do me good.
Well, admittedly, Rosewater isn't as cosmopolitan as it used to be, but maybe you'll find it to your liking.
There hasn't been a dull moment since I stepped off the train.
Speaking of, your writing sample had me in stitches. Haven't spent much time in Lamplight City myself, but your descriptions of the toffs in Lyon, hilarious.
That piece was inspired by my last visit a few years ago, actually.
Oh? What brought that about?
I'm guessing this is to do with Bill. No harm in the truth here.
I had to go back and settle my late brother's
Yep,
affairs.
that's it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope it wasn't in connection with that awful business at the Lamplight City Expo.
Oh, no, it was before that.
The Expo disaster was a national tragedy, of course. But you know,
Expo disaster, what's
can't
that?
help remembering it as the week our paper sold more copies than it has before or since. Isn't that terrible?
I wonder what
But enough
happened to
about
the
that.
Expo.
Let's get back to why we're here. I loved your sample, and I like you as well, Harley. So I'm going to go ahead.
Oh, was the
and offer
Expo
you
during the
admission.
game? It
I'll
wasn't,
pay you
was it?
45 crowns for it. After that, we can talk about more regular opportunities.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. So, what's my assignment?
See where I couldn't
A
hear anything. The
scathing
stream was muted.
commentary on
Well, that'll
Rosewater's
do it,
decline,
Frank.
Or maybe a hard-hitting expose on the plight of the marginalized criminal youth?
Oh, no. Nothing like that. I want you to interview Gentleman Jake Ackerman.
Ooh.
Who?
Pull the other one. You've been living under a rock. He's a true Western legend, the Achilles of our times. We've got a real opportunity here. A star like that landing in our little town. I'd like something in the vein of your sample. Acerbic and mordant. But maybe not quite so acerbic.
So, a puff piece.
Good, you're paying attention. I want you to make Rosewater look good too. Show me a real frontier hero in a real frontier town.
Where can I find this Jake fellow?
He's taking rooms at the Jack of Diamonds just down the road. And his show is opening today at the Opera House. So he should be around for an interview. I don't know how you're
Delightful.
situated here, but you're welcome to use the typewriter in the office.
I only write longhand, but I'd certainly be grateful for a quiet place to work.
Longhand. How charming. Now, if you have any questions before you go, by all means, ask.
All right. I mean, I am very curious about the man that went out the window.
So, who was the man that went out your window? Not another writer, I hope.
Oh, God, no. You're the only applicant we've had. Don't worry about him. Just a rabble-rouser with an axe to grind. Thought he could burst in here railing about my journalistic integrity. Most folks stick to writing letters to the editor. I tried to calm him down, but... well, it didn't go that way.
I see.
Hmm.
The Rosewater Post reported on the Lamplight City Expo?
It was only the biggest story that year. I still got copies of the article saved. Here, read it for
Ooh,
yourself.
ooh, I must know what happened here. Show me. Disaster at Lamplight City Expo. The etheric pavilion at the Global Exposition in New Britannia Kingdom was the site of a terrifying disaster that claimed 15 lives on Saturday. During a demonstration by etheric researcher Dr. Bennett Clark, a device known as an etheric generator malfunctioned and released a burst of energy into the audience, instantly vaporizing 14 attendees and one stage assistant. An eyewitness described the scene for the New Britannia Gazette. The thing started up with a great crackling noise, startling the ladies in attendance and raising several cries of excitement. In the next instant, there was a blinding flash of light. After that, there was just screams and a horrible burning smell. From where I stood, I could see that a bunch of folks gathered to one side of the apparatus were just gone. All that was left was shoes and hats and things in a pile of ash. The worst thing was, their shadows were still there on the wall behind. Oh, look at that picture, that's creepy. A controversial figure in the scientific community, Dr. Clark has championed novel theories on the existence of ethericity, a supposedly inexhaustible source of energy located in the upper atmosphere. The Etheric Pavilion, an exhibit jointly sponsored by Kessling Industries, Harmon and Grove, and Eastern Consolidated Coal, was intended to showcase the technology's potential before a global audience, although public enthusiasm may be somewhat dampened following the events of last weekend. Dr. Clark was taken in for questioning by authorities, but it remains to be seen whether he, or any of his sponsors, will be held legally responsible for the lives lost in the accident. Gilroy might close. Silas Gilroy announced on Friday that his Aura mine would cease operations at the end of this month. This marks the third major mine closure in the past year, in addition to many smaller claims that have been consolidated and sold cheaply or abandoned. Like every other prospect who hauled out here, I was hopeful after early results were so strong, but those deeper veins have failed to turn up, said Mr. Gilroy. It's all sparkle and no show. The mine's closure will deal yet another blow to Rosewater's fortunes, leaving over 40 men out of work. Apparently I can't read. I remember Leroy. PM calls for etheric PM calls for etheric ban. Prime Minister Hart Leroy wasted no time in condemning the Lamplight City Expo disaster and called on Parliament to impose a ban on etheric research. Despite predictable opposition from the Atwood wing, MPs may be more receptive to Leroy's proposal in the wake of the disaster. A vote is expected to be called in the coming weeks. Supporters of Clark's research insist that an isolated incident does not invalidate the potential of benefits of etheric technology, but public opinion may be tipping in favor of the ban.
Can I keep this?
Frame it if you like.
Interesting.
Any insight you can give me about the town?
It's a far cry from what it used to be. In a way, it's nice not having to hear the noise from the saloon at all hours, but... oh, I don't know. Folk who moved on took some of the charm with them.
What about the folks who stayed behind?
What about him?
I was hoping for more details.
Far as you're concerned, the only person in Rosewater worth knowing right now is Jake Ackerman. If you're so keen to know about the rest, go meet him for yourself.
I'm curious, how did the Rosewater Post get its start?
Well, my dad was a union man. He worked the printing press for the Allied Fall Creek Miners Cooperative.
Nice.
Pamphlets, labour news, that sort of thing. Then the mine owners brought the Blackburns in to bust the whole operation up. My dad was laid up for months and could never work again after. But we still had to eat, didn't we? I took all the equipment from the old shop and started printing up an early version of the Post just to bring a little money in. At first, it was all just community notices and advertisements from local stores. Over time, I got the hang of the whole journalism thing and turned it into a real newspaper.
I'd best be on my way.
Right you are.
All right.
Wait a minute.
Oh.
What?
It's just come to me. I know why you look familiar. You're Spitfire Harley.
Goodness. It's been a long time since anyone called me that.
I saw you fighting back in 26 at Wellesley Hall in the Chum. You took out a brute twice your size with a right hook. Pow! It was like watching David bring down Goliath.
I appreciate the kind words, but that was another life.
Maybe so, but for a 14-year-old kid fresh off the boat, it was pretty damn inspirational.
Thanks, Joan. Appreciate it.
Of course. And please call me Joni.
Okay. We've got a lot to look at in here, so let's do so. Starting with this.
That's quite a stick.
A memento from my grandfather back in County Donegal. Comes in handy now and again.
Clearly there is an equivalent of Ireland in this world.
I hope fixing that window
Interesting.
won't be too expensive.
I may just leave it for a while. I'm enjoying the breeze.
I'm about to say it took place 3 years earlier, 1844. Interesting. So there's been 3 years.
Is this the first edition of the Rosewater Post?
Yep, March 30th, 1845. One of the best days of my life.
Interesting.
You support Leroy?
I'm a proud Labourite, sure. I'll admit he hasn't been my favourite PM. But the way things were going with Atwood and the Traitors, this place would have been swallowed up by an automated newspaper conglomerate. Labour Party gets me vote any day of the week.
Fair enough. The New Britannia Gazette, keeping tabs on the competition?
Hardly. I kept that issue because they mentioned my paper.
Hey, that's Devil's Tooth. I passed it on the train right here.
Quite a sight, isn't it?
Nice typewriter.
The first. Good old Sheldon Model 4.
Okay. Did I look at the window? Hold on, let's take a look at this.
Fascinating device.
Isn't it just? To think, I can send messages from here to Bright Bay with the press of a lever.
What will they think of next?
Did I look at this? Might have done.
I hope fixing that window won't be too expensive.
I may just leave it for a while. I'm enjoying the breeze.
I like her. She's fun. Well, we've got a job to
See you
do.
later, Joni.
Take care of yourself out there.
So let's go see.
Spitfire Harley, writing for my paper. Now don't that just beat all?
All right then. I wonder if he's got anything else to add now that we've talked to Joni.
Excuse me?
I'd love to chat, Miss Legere, but I'm a bit occupied at the moment.
Don't let me distract you then.
All right then, never mind. We'll head off. Okay. Let's have a little explore then. Let's see what the town has to offer. So we know there's a doctor. We've said hello to him. Oh, that's the saloon.
Was your meeting satisfactory, ma'am?
Quite so. Did you find any of those butterscotch sweets I asked for?
Afraid not. Only taffy and some peppermints.
Pity. This place seems to lack even the smallest of pleasures. Shall we?
Interesting. She had a familiar voice as well.
Horse pills? Is that pills for horses or pills made from horses?
It's a good question.
Or both. Wonder if the whiskey here is any better than the rot gut back in Pierre.
Hey, Grundislav, how's it going? Thanks for playing. Absolutely, I wasn't gonna miss this. Not for the world. I'm very glad that you got it out the door. Congratulations on the launch. I'm already enjoying it. Oh, Amelia Taylor. Oh right, yeah. Baldur's
Looks
Gate
like
3
it's been
narrator.
up for
Yeah,
ages.
I thought I recognized the
Wonder
voice.
if they ever caught the guy. Or maybe he retired from crime. Or died of old age.
Okay.
Shabby, but I've been to worse.
Undertaker. Hopefully we won't need that service.
Business seems slow today. Probably a good thing.
Yeah. What else is this town got on offer then? Oh, well, this is where Gentleman Jake's hanging out.
For 20 coppers, it had better be one hell of a show. Never heard of this one. Betrayal, murder, revenge, classic stuff. Never works out that way in real life. This place is falling apart, but these stone tiles were nice. Once.
I might grab myself a stone tile. You never know. You might need one. Bennett Clark. Okay.
Dr. Bennett Clark, Master of Ethericity.
So that's...
Oh, right, the Ethericity fellow. I didn't know he was working out here.
Yeah, that's the fellow that disintegrated a bunch of people with his invention. All right. We will be going to talk to Gentleman Jake, but I just want to do a... Oh, I think the game crashed. Ooh. Okay. Well then. I will let you have a quick look at the message there if I've never been able to replicate it. Interesting. Well, here's the message. Maybe if I can I zoom that in maybe. Hold on. That's just not easily. If you can see that all right, there's the error message. It's in the active script, tween line 1568, 1595, 1876, and room 4636. See if it happens again. I'm about to push the patch that should fix it. No worries. I don't know if I say it, but I should be able to quickly run through. It's a new game. I don't feel bad about it. Okay. Oh, it auto saves, doesn't it? Smart. All right. So what? I have the stone. So literally, it autosaved at the moment it crashed, I think, or at least around the time. Yeah. Okay. Well, at least I haven't lost any progress. Those autosaves coming in clutch. Let's have a little look at the saloon. All right.
These seem to be for decoration more than anything else.
Okay.
Food delivery for the lazy. Warning, watch the dang door. Signed, management.
Ooh.
Now that is mighty tempting.
Don't think I should press the button, but it is tempting.
Scenes from the wild country. A night campfire, a wild horse, and a bear in the mountains. Sure would be something to see all that up close and personal. Except maybe the bear. Someone's hunting trophy.
Ooh.
I bet that piano hasn't been tuned since the De Leon administration. She's making the best of it, though.
That doesn't sound too bad. Oops. What's this?
The local populace getting sloshed.
Absolutely. Hello.
Excuse me, kid. I need to get upstairs.
I'm really sorry, miss, but Mr.
Oh, Mr. Ackerman's in
not
here.
taking
Oh, yes, he
any
was.
more meetings right now.
He was in the saloon. I'm from the Rosewater Post.
I'm here on behalf of the Rosewater Post.
Did you make an appointment?
No, I just got the assignment.
Okay. Look, Mr. Ackerman's upstairs getting ready for his show. It starts in less than an hour. Why don't you come by and watch? You can come meet him afterwards.
I just need to interview him for a newspaper article.
Well, now, that's perfect. If you're going to write about him, you should definitely see the show. Trust me, he's a real dazzler.
Suppose
Great.
it beats waiting around here.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see that show when we need to. Okay. Let's go check on maybe the guy who got thrown out the window. Yep, there he is.
Hello again,
Excuse me,
Mr.
has anyone
Leger.
seen Freddy Farkas?
I'm pleased to say your friend should make a full recovery.
Oh, we're not friends.
He's not my friend. He just fell out the window and almost crushed me.
Yeah.
I see. Well, it was good of you to come get me. Plenty of folks around here would have turned a blind eye. I realize in all the commotion we weren't properly introduced. I'm Dr. Sedgwick.
Guess the sign wasn't lying then. I'm Harley.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Likewise. Mind if I have a look around?
Not at all.
Okay, let's see what we've got in here. We've got a spittoon.
That's impressively clean.
Cleanliness is next to godliness, as they say, and good health starts with good hygiene.
All right.
He doesn't look half bad, all things considered.
Considering you
No,
got thrown out a
he's
window.
lucky. Once I'm done here and the laudanum wears off, he should be right as rain.
Quite a variety of potions and tonics you've got here, Doc.
It's only a small part of the bounteous pharmacopoeia that nature might make available to us, if only we knew her secrets. There is so much to be discovered.
This is reminding me of Freddy Farkas.
Have you actually read all these books, Doc?
I have. They also serve for reference. Learning is a lifelong endeavor.
Medical College of Wicks? Never heard of it.
It's in central Rotterdam.
Oh.
Not quite the University of New Britannia, but then what is?
I've been there. Yeah, he is. Yes, that's right. He is the narrator. I didn't even make that connection in my head. Of course it is. Yeah.
I imagine you get your hands pretty dirty in this line of work?
It's for cleansing before, not after. I am a follower of the modern European theories, positing that disease follows from the propagation of
Neil
tiny
Ross, yeah.
animal
I thought it was
cubes
Neil
living on
Ross,
the
yeah.
surface of the skin. Thorough washing with soap and water is said to eradicate them.
Drown the little bastards, huh?
Something like that.
Oh, the town sheriff is played by Cam Clark. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm excited to meet him now.
What's in the pouch?
Oh, just some supplies for house calls and emergencies.
You know, quite by chance, I played Freddy Farkas for the first time this year. Like literally, just last month, I played through it. So good timing on that for me to play that game.
Hey, Doc, is that mess of noodles really what our insides look like?
Indeed, Miss Leger. The human body truly is a marvel.
I suppose that's one word for it. Well, that's just disgusting.
Not disgusting, it's fascinating, awe-inspiring.
To each his own.
Yes, I definitely recognize Dave Fennoy right away.
What's in the
this?
pouch?
Oh, just some supplies for house calls and emergencies.
Oh, it gives me a prompt to tank that, but I wouldn't want to do so without asking first, or without having to need it. Let's chat to the doc.
Hey, Doc.
Miss Leger.
So, how's the medicine business?
What a question. I'm a physician, Miss Leger, not some two-bit snake oil salesman.
Didn't mean to imply you were.
I'm sure. At any rate, I've not had many patients of late. This poor soul is the only one this week. But that is the physician's dilemma, is it not? We are taught that idleness is a sin. But better that I am idle and the townsfolk healthy than my surgery be full of the ill and infirm.
That's fair.
Got any knowledge to impart about Rosewater?
Oh, well, it's a fine town.
You don't sound too enthused.
I'm sure you'll find plenty to see and do here.
Give it to me straight, Doc. I want to know your thoughts on this place. Warts and all.
Were Rosewater one of my patients, I would say the prognosis is not good. Not since all the Aurum claims dried up and the airship routes opened, leapfrogging over our rail line. The hangers-on keep this place gasping for breath, but I fear they only prolong the inevitable. I hope I haven't discouraged you, but you did ask my opinion.
If things are so bad, why not pick up and move elsewhere?
I swore an oath to do no harm, Miss Leger. As the town's only physician, leaving would mean abandoning my patients. There may not be many left to call on my services, but when they do, I am the only barrier standing between them and the grave.
Isn't that a bit dramatic, Doc?
Say what you will, I know where I stand on the matter.
He's a nice fella.
Why not train somebody to take over for you?
I did have an apprentice not long ago, my ward, Nadine.
What happened to her?
Oh, this is no kind of life for a restless young person. I encouraged her to put her talents to use elsewhere. She's ministering to the local native tribe now.
Who is this tribe?
I'm afraid I don't know much about them, just that they have a small village somewhere in the valley. I believe they call themselves the Audam? Autumn? I'm not certain of the pronunciation. At any rate, they don't come to the town, and I imagine the townsfolk mostly let them be as well.
You must know all about the townsfolk.
I am well acquainted with all their ailments, proclivities, and vices. But if you're just seeking gossip, you'll have to find it elsewhere.
I'll see you later, Doc.
Do take care of yourself.
All right, then. Well, that's not even open. So we'll just head over to... Well, let's see this. Talk to the sheriff.
Howdy, stranger. Fresh off the train?
Yes, sir.
Come on in then. Let's have a chat.
Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear it in his voice.
I'm Sheriff Gamble.
Harley Leger.
Pleasure.
Bit more rugged, but
passing through, or...
I'm here about a job.
Well now, that's refreshing. Few come to Rosewater these days with the intent of staying long. How are you finding our town?
I almost got crushed by a falling man. I'll be nice about it.
Oh, it's great. Real pretty.
Well, glad you think so. Most folks take one look around and get right on the next train back. But I can see you have some real grit. I doubt the dust and the flies will put you off. Anyhow, welcome to Rosewater. You run into any trouble, you come and see me.
Okay. We've got a lot to look at in here.
What a peculiar decoration. Hey, Sheriff?
Yes, ma'am?
Why have you got a horseshoe hanging above the door?
Ah, glad you asked. My grandpappy told me a story about a blacksmith who was visited by the devil.
All right.
The devil asked the smith to make him a horseshoe for his own hoofed feet, you see. So, the blacksmith took a red-hot horseshoe and nailed it straight onto one of his hooves. The devil howled out in pain. He begged the blacksmith to take it off again. The smith agreed, but on one condition. The devil must always respect the horseshoe and never enter any place where one is hung above the door.
Huh. I like
A little
that.
story, wouldn't you say?
Impressive collection. Hey, Sheriff?
Miss Leger?
What's the story with these guns?
Now these are standard issue repeaters. Pretty powerful rifles. Thankfully, I've yet to use one in the line of duty. Wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of one of these.
Well, no. Anything that fires bullets is a no-no, I think. Let's have a look at this.
I wouldn't have figured the sheriff for a naturalist. Fancy yourself a lepidopterist?
Ha! Hardly. Picked that display up from a passing rag and bone man. But I like when the sun shines on their wings just so. Real thing of beauty.
All right.
A lawman with a license? Guess Rosewater isn't so uncivilized after all. Does this license mean you went to sheriff's school?
No, it means I was officially elected to the position by the people of this
Oh,
town.
nice.
The paper is really just a formality.
Reminder, confiscated items to be placed in the box below.
What's this confiscated item?
A plain leather bag. Wonder what's inside. What's in the bag?
Oh, that's a set of lockpicks I
Oh.
confiscated from a would-be burglar.
Interesting.
This fellow still at large?
Yep, but I reckon he's left the province.
Looks like a pretty rough sort.
Okay, we've got...
Those are some stern-looking ladies. Hey, Sheriff?
Miss Leger?
Who are the people in this photo?
Those are my sisters, Lord bless them. Beulah's a real firebrand. She'd smack you across the face soon as look at you. She did to me plenty. Reba married an oil man. I think they're living in some big mansion on the coast somewhere. Mary was always my favorite. The trouble we used to get into when we was kids.
He seems like a real nice guy.
Not a bad view. Hey, Sheriff?
Yes, ma'am?
What's this photo of?
That's a view of Colchester, where I grew up. It ain't exactly a metropolis, but it's got character.
Ah, you can get him
Sometimes I find
look
myself
at things.
wondering what life would be like if I'd stayed. My folks still have a ranch there. Been meaning to pay him a visit.
If I wanted to take those lockpicks, that's probably how I'd do it. But no, I'm not really looking to be a criminal sort, to be honest, so...
Doesn't look too comfy, but I guess that's the point. Does this cell see much use?
Nah, not really. Well, that's fine by me. The less I have to clean out that pot, the better.
Alright, fair enough. Well, see you later. Let's see. Oh, well. Alright, well. Okay then. I think... Alright, okay. Oh, hold on. I see someone up here. It's that fella again. Hello. Hold on. Do a save.
You again?
Oh, hey, Harmony, was it?
Harley. What an evening
Willy
you doing
Wonka.
here?
Oh, you're not still sore about earlier.
No, I think I taught your friend a lesson.
Nah, but your little friend might think twice about hoodwinking strangers again.
Look, nothing personal. My brother and me are just doing our best to get by.
Your brother? And you just strolled away? I ought to knock you into a cocked hat.
Hey, you gotta look out for number one.
You picked the wrong mark, but I can let that go. Hell, with a little effort, you two could be halfway decent grifters. But if there's one thing turns my stomach, it's disloyalty. That's your flesh and blood. If you don't have your own brothers back, who else on this wretched earth is going to give a flip if you're alive or dead?
You made your point. Now can we drop it already? I'm trying to do an actual legitimate job here.
Oh, really?
Legitimate job? So you're not selling snake oil or stock tips or fire insurance?
Nah, nothing like that. I'm selling tickets to Gentleman Jake's legendary Wild West show.
Well, I guess we
Only 20
need
coppers.
one of them.
I'll take one of those tickets.
Swell! And when would you like to come see the show?
Whenever it starts?
Oh, you mean today? Oh, well, I'm afraid I gotta disappoint you there. Sold the last of today's tickets not 10 minutes before you walked up.
And why did you ask?
Seriously?
Seriously, this ain't exactly the Coliseum. It only fits so many, and folks around here are real excited to see Gentleman Jake in person.
Wait here. I'll be back.
I look forward to it.
All right. So he sold some tickets already. So I might be able to find somebody who has one. I suppose the chance that this guy had one on his person.
Hello again.
Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, I wouldn't try talking to him just now, Miss Leger. I gave him a mild narcotic to numb the pain. He'll be out of sorts for a while.
Considering what has happened around Jake. What do you mean? If you think of the ether thing, that's a different guy. That's what's his fella? Clark.
Gentleman Jake's show will be starting at the theater soon. You won't
no
want to
worries.
miss a second of it. Gentleman Jake's show.
Right, we need to get ourselves a ticket. Let's talk to this guy again. Maybe he can give us a little bit more.
Hey, kid.
Yeah?
All right, look. I don't need to see some yahoo firing off his pea shooter. I just want to talk to this Jake fellow.
And I'm sure Gentleman Jake would be happy to meet you if you had a ticket to get in. Course, I might be able to sneak you in quiet-like, but I'd be putting my job on the line. And I can't afford to lose it now. After all, I have my little brother to look after.
Just tell me what you want.
Only a small favor.
Spit it out.
Just help me retrieve something. A small item of great personal value. It's only my pa's pocket watch. Family heirloom, you see.
Right.
What happened to it?
It was stolen is what? By that one-eyed scalawag Lola Johnson. Probably stashed it away in the old smithy. She's been squatting in there for weeks now.
Okay.
Where'd your brother get to? Keeping out of trouble?
Matter of fact, he's trying to make good after that screw-up earlier. Decided he's gonna try and get Pa's watch back all by himself.
Well, that's gonna go well.
He's real tore up over losing it.
And you're letting him risk his neck again? He'll be collared in no time. Like as not, you'll never see him again.
Oh, I know. I tried talking sense into him, but he's dead set on it. Wants to prove himself. But he'll be in real hot water if he gets caught, which he probably will. That's why I'm asking you to do it before he goes and does something stupid.
All right.
I can tell you could pull it off. No problem.
That kid deserves better than getting strung up for doing your dirty work. Call him off. I'll handle it.
Swell. You know where to find me.
Okay. Oh, we've got like a little thing about locks here. We've got a warded lock. No key for me. Turn the hook freely. Padlocks wiggle the key to start the fun and take the snake for a long run. Deadbolts tense the key and choose the snake. Look round as you give it a shake. Tumble locks. Key stay still. The diamond shines. Turn up just once, then down 3 times. Okay. The duck looks like a little cute bear. I can see that. Let's take a look at this. It seems to be...
Looks sturdy, but there's some rot creeping around the handles. This padlock's not going anywhere. Not without encouragement. Too bad I didn't bring my lockpicks. Or a hammer.
Well, you get some lockpicks. It's not exactly the most ethical way of doing it. Maybe I could ask him really nicely.
Welcome back, Miss Leger.
I'd rather not do it in a...
Hey, Sheriff?
What can I do you for?
I actually don't know if I talked to him yet.
Just how long have you been the sheriff here anyway?
I inspected everything in the
Couple
room.
years now. Like most everyone else, I came to Rosewater in '48 when we thought the hills were full of Orem. Except I stayed when it turned out they weren't.
You were a prospector?
Yep. But it turns out lawman was a more stable career.
A man in your position must have plenty to say about the town he serves.
Suppose that's true. But a stroll down Main will tell you most everything you need to know.
That little weasel Jem is a real piece of work. What's his deal?
Did he cause you any trouble?
Nah, just tried putting on airs with his town greeter routine. But he was on his way once I let him know I wasn't having any of it.
That boy. He ain't a bad kid, just been dealt a bad hand. I've tried setting him straight, but his head's harder than granite. Maybe it's time I set my foot down. Show him the inside of himself for a while.
Trust me, that'll only make things worse. Perhaps rather than tossing away the bad apple, you might look in the barrel and figure out what made it rot.
Say, you ain't one of those social reformer types, are you?
Let's just say I've seen my share of cruddy barrels. Can you tell me about Joan Gallagher?
Whew, I've yet to meet anyone with a more fiery temper. My advice is to stay on Joni's good side.
Is Doc Sedgwick on the up and up, or is he one of those frontier quacks?
Oh no, Doc Sedgwick's tried and true. Well, he saved the town from a yellow fever epidemic just last year. The Doc's pretty much the glue holding this town together. Leastways, that's what he's fond of telling everybody.
What's the story with Gentleman Jake?
Which one? If even half of them are true, he's a lion among men, a real Western hero. But you can catch his show while he's in town and hear it straight from the source.
Are you acquainted with Lola Johnson?
Not really. She mostly keeps to herself. As long as she don't cause trouble, I'm willing to overlook the squatting.
I saw a lady coming out of the saloon earlier. She was older, fancy looking, sounded old country. Any idea who that is?
Can't say it rings any bells. Wonder what someone like that'd be doing in Rosewater.
Indeed.
Anything of interest in the surrounding area?
Not really. The San Bernardino Valley don't offer much in the way of sightseeing. There's an army fort, Fort Beaumont, and an abandoned relic that used to be a laboratory. There's also an Indian village on the other side of the valley. But you'll want to steer clear. I've heard tell they can be real territorial. But all that's outside my jurisdiction. When you leave my town, you're taking your chances out there.
Were you aware that a man was thrown from the window at the Rosewater Post?
Is that right? Who was it?
Never saw him before. Looked New Spanish.
Is he alive?
Yes, he's in Doc Sedgwick's care.
Well, that's good. Sounds like I need to have words with Joni, though.
Thanks for the chat, Sheriff.
Come back anytime.
All right. So my thinking, if I borrow the lockpicks for just even a short time, oh.
Hey, Sheriff?
Yes, ma'am?
What was it you said about this photo?
That's a view of Colchester, where I grew up.
But just,
The winters were so cold, people's sentences
like
would
that.
hang in the air for days.
He'll notice they're missing.
My folks still have a
oh,
ranch
maybe.
there.
A bag of lockpicks. Tempting.
Sometimes I find myself
Okay, never mind
wondering
then.
what life would be like if I'd stayed.
So you notice that they're missing. Okay. I have hydrated for you there.
Reminder, confiscated items to be placed in the box below. I can't just swipe these from right under his nose.
Maybe it could be replaced with something. I mean, there's like a little baggie
Hello again.
here. What is it? What is it exactly?
What's in the pouch?
Oh, just some supplies for house calls and emergencies.
Okay. If we do a little switcheroo, I think we could swap them back, potentially, without anybody noticing. If I'm allowed to do that. We'll see. Alright.
Welcome back, Miss Legere.
Tell me about this again. I didn't hear the first 2 times.
Hey, Sheriff.
Yes,
What was
that's a...
Alright.
It ain't exactly a metropolis, but it's got character.
Give him a little swap.
got him?
Because it looks like the same thing. All right. What did it say about these then? Oh, here we go. So it's one of these. Wiggle the key to start the fun, then take the snake for a long, long run. Alright, because it looks like one of those ones.
This should be easy to pick. Just have to remember that rhyme I taught Bill. Good thing I wrote it down in my journal.
Wiggle the key to start the fun, then take the snake for a long, long run. The key? One of these? Oh. Well, maybe this way. Hold on. Mm-hmm. Okay. That is the one, isn't it? That we're looking at. The one that kind of looks like a bear. Yeah. Wiggle the key, start the fun. What does it mean by a long, long run? Unless there's like... See, all I
I
can...
should have this open and learned it by heart.
Okay, wiggle. Twist. Left, left, right. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, yes. Good point, good point. Long, long run, left, left, right.
That could be a good spot to stash something.
I've got a lot of spots to search here.
Emptier than that fool Jem's head. Maybe the kid's watch is in there. Absolutely nothing. The Smithy's cold furnace. No watch, just old ash. Guess the devil won't be coming in here. Did the blacksmith dabble as a Wainwright? Guess the
Okay.
doesn't look too comfortable.
Hmm.
Well now, what have we here? Got what I came for. Best not to stick around.
Oh, well. Okay. Right, now.
Welcome.
Let's see if we can
Hey,
do a
Yes,
return.
What was it?
That's a... It ain't exactly a metropolis, but it's got character.
Oh, I can't do that anymore.
The winters were so cold, people's sentences
right.
would hang in the air for days.
I'm really sorry, Sheriff, but I've got to go.
Not a problem. We'll leave it for another time.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you a fourth time going through that story. Well, can't return it. But I'm sure things will be fine. Right. This is what you were looking for, wasn't it?
Fancy. Too bad there doesn't seem to be a pawn shop in town.
Alright, here you go.
Here's your watch back.
No fooling. You actually got it?
They didn't used to call me Housebreaker Harley for nothing.
Hey, I'm impressed.
Anyways, that's my part of the bargain held up. You gonna let me in now?
Sure, go on. Oh, and thanks. I know we've had our tiffs, but I really do appreciate you getting this for me. My dear departed pa can rest easy again knowing his watch is back where it belongs.
Part of me wonders if it's
That's not your watch at
yeah.
all.
Well, it is now.
Kid, if I were you, I'd make myself scarce. Otherwise, the only way you'll be able to tell the time on that thing is by squatting over a mirror. You get me?
Yes, ma'am.
Ladies and
Alright, here we go.
boys and girls of all ages, are you ready for some thrills?
I'm ready.
Are you ready for some excitement?
You know it.
Are you ready for some fun?
Let's do it. Just applaud, just applaud. I'm not gonna make a
Now
scene.
present the star of our show, the last man standing at the Bleachbone Gulch Showdown. The only man to defeat bastard Billy Boakes in a duel. The man who discovered a gentleman, then gifted it to an orphanage. Gentleman Jake Ackerman!
Alright.
Yahoo!
Oh, this is delightful. Oh my goodness. Yeah, of course.
Thank you, Charlie, for that wonderful introduction. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Gentleman Jake's Wild West. We got a heck of a performance for you today, but first, allow me to introduce my brave and loyal assistant, Danny Luo. Now
Right.
let's get this show on the road.
Okay.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you rope a steer. Keep it going, Danny. Maybe you'll lasso yourself one someday.
Okay.
The sun beat down upon them as the duelists stood and stared. But Billy Boakes had never fought somebody so prepared. Jake drew his gun, and bang! The bastard crashed down with a thud. The legendary foe lay dead, defeated, in the mud.
I wonder how much of this is true. Alright. Fair enough.
And now for a most challenging proposition, perhaps the greatest feat of marksmanship to which a man can set his sights. You see those 5 juggling balls that Charlie keeps whirling aloft in such a dizzying display?
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, fix your eyes on that green ball in particular, and do not dare blink.
Alright.
For with but a single bullet, I will pluck it from the very air.
Interesting. I wonder what the trick is to that. I reckon there is a trick.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our show. Thank you all so much. You've been a truly magnanimous, magnificent, and majestic audience.
I wonder what happens if you just heckle your way
Take
through.
home a piece of the legend. Come on down to the Check of Diamonds to get an autograph or a souvenir ferrotype. We'll be there until last call. Stop by and shake hands with Gentleman Jake.
Ladies and gentlemen, good night.
Scarf's Traveling Wild West show. I mean, it's not my show, but, hey. It's a good show nonetheless. Right. Well, that was certainly interesting.
I'm telling you, Jake, I need that money tonight.
You knew the deal going in, Charlie. There's nothing I can do about it.
We'll see about that.
Hope I'm not interrupting, gentlemen.
My friend here was just saying his
So when did the murders
farewell.
begin?
Weren't you, Charlie? Please do pardon that unpleasant display. What can I do for you, my dear?
Name's Harley Leger. I'd like to interview you for the Rosewater Post.
Well, shucks, it would be my pleasure, Miss Leger. Shall we go upstairs to my room? Beats standing out here in the dust.
Lead on.
All right.
Miss Leger, permit me to introduce my associate, Danny Luo.
We've met, actually. Not formally, I suppose. Nice to properly make your acquaintance, Miss Leger.
Likewise, Mr. Luo.
Please, you can call me Danny. Everybody does.
So what did you think of the show? Pretty spectacular, huh?
It was pretty good.
Yes, that's definitely the word for it.
I'm glad you think so. Shall we proceed with the interview?
Right.
Okay then.
So who is the real Gentleman Jake?
Mercy me. That's a hell of a question. Now, I ain't much for philosophizing, Miss Leger, so I'll just say this. In my case, what you see is what you get.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay then.
All right.
How did you come to pick Rosewater as your latest venue?
Simple. Plenty of folk in this town are looking for a good show. I ain't so hoity-toity as to think El Presidio or Los Virgenes are the only places worth visiting. After spending all day bent double over a pan in a creek or working his keister off down in a mine, a man is entitled to some amusement, wouldn't you say?
Has anyone here heard of Alex Hill Whispers at White Oak Inn? White Oak Inn? It's a new Nancy Drew like that I've been playing. I mentioned it because it seemed like the sort of thing people around here would like. I own it. I want to stream it at some point. Not sure when I'll get around to it, but yeah, it's on my list. Absolutely. It looks interesting. Like a little bit rough around the edges, but it's like, as far as I know, it's a one-person project, so I can't fault it for that. And apparently, it's really good. So I'm looking forward to trying it out.
You're clearly a man of great deeds. Which would you say has been your greatest?
I value all my accomplishments equally, Miss Leger. To single any one out would diminish the others. I couldn't bring myself to do that.
What a noble sentiment.
I like to think so.
Is there anything that frightens the mighty Gentleman Jake?
You know, somebody once told me, fear is only as deep as the mind allows. When you deal with the type of folks out on the frontier that I do, marauders, bandits, desperados, your fears have got to be shallow. Otherwise, you won't last 2 seconds.
Hey, Jake, don't you have an appointment with Miss Sally this evening?
Damn, you're right. Sorry to cut things short, Miss Leger.
Oh.
I've got another engagement.
I didn't get to ask all the questions I wanted to ask.
I should have plenty for my article. I appreciate your time.
Well, I look forward to reading your story in the next edition. Danny, see the lady out, would you?
Oh.
Good meeting you, Danny. Guess I'll see you around. Not to worry, gents. Jake's all yours. Hey, you were in the show. Nice juggling.
Thank you, ma'am. Jake, get your ass out here right now, you four-flusher.
Now, what's all the ruckus?
It seems like there may be an
Don't
altercation.
play fool with me, Ackerman. You know damn well why I'm here. You might think you can give me the runaround, but I wonder if my friends here won't convince you to pay up.
Charlie. Didn't anybody ever tell you only cowards get others to solve their problems for them?
Four flushes? What's he been eating?
I'm gonna fix that wobbling jaw of yours.
Come on up here, then.
You sure you won't reconsider, Charlie?
Shut the hell up and get out of my way. McGuire, take care of the kid. Let's dance, cowboy.
Oh, here we go.
I
I suggest you clear out while you can, little lady. This could get ugly.
A little
Where I'm
fist fight.
standing, it's pretty damn ugly already.
Oh.
Hey!
So that's how you want it, huh? Fine. I'll let the boss deal with you when he's done.
All right. Try punching him again. Okay, you know what?
Come on,
Food
McGuire.
delivery for the lazy.
Hey! Don't start any trouble, lady.
I was just thinking, this probably swings open at the side, doesn't it? Yep, that's what I thought would happen.
Whoopsie daisy.
All right. All right. Let's help out. Damn.
Hey, nice one.
Not the most honorable way of winning a fight, but these boys were hardly playing fair.
Hey, Charlie. Looks like your guys weren't as tough as you hoped.
Bop. Nice.
Woo-wee. That got the old blood pumping.
You've got some interesting associates, Mr. Ackerman. If you'll excuse me, I have an article to write.
Hang on just a minute. I'd be a fool to just let you walk away after that performance. Come on back up here. I've got a business proposition that may interest you.
Oh.
What about Miss Sally?
Oh, she can wait. All right, Miss Legere, I won't beat around the bush. Danny and I are looking to get some folks together for a job, and I think you'd make a damn fine addition to the team.
What sort of job?
Ever hear of Dr. Bennett Clark?
Yes, he disintegrated 14 people.
Of course. The etheric researcher. What about him?
Dr. Clark moved out here not long after the big disaster back in Lamplight City. He kept up his research, even did some demonstrations at the Opera House. Till one day, he just up and vanished.
I mean,
Nobody's seen hide nor hair of him in nearly a year.
there's a non-zero chance that he, you know, vaporized himself with a machine. So that's probably why people can't find him. But there might be something else going on.
And you want to go looking for him?
Oh, I want to go looking all right. The thing is, we're going in search of Dr. Clark's fortune.
Come again?
The feller was loaded. Somehow he managed to talk a bunch of big money investors from back east into financing his research. All those gizmos and doodads don't come cheap, you know? We find his stash, we'll all be rolling in it for years to come.
Stash? What stash? Surely it's all just numbers on a ledger somewhere.
Nope, I'm telling you, he kept his assets in cold, hard cash.
So you're looking to rob a man blind just because nobody knows where he is?
Now, nothing so uncouth as that. Picture this, a swashbuckling pirate captain, his vessel freighted with treasure. The vast fleets of law and order circling him, closing in. He digs a hole in the sands of some sun-kissed tropical beach to conceal his ill-gotten loot and makes himself scarce. Circumstance conspires to deprive him of the opportunity to return. Now, is the brave treasure hunter who seeks and unearths the bounty guilty of robbery? Or is he just returning to the world what would otherwise lie forgotten and worthless? See, we're not after Clark's personal wealth. The money in question was meant to bankroll his etheric research. Since that's been outlawed, he can't touch it. And it's a drop in the ocean for the investors.
It actually has been
They'll
outlawed
never
now,
miss
huh?
it.
How many folks are you planning on bringing into this?
That depends on what we find. But I promise you, we'll all get a fair split. Enough to make it all worthwhile.
What's your plan?
Clark had a lab nearby, a couple miles outside of town. Last place anybody saw him. We poke around there, retrace his steps, and it should lead us straight to the loot.
Uh-huh.
It seems too
Now,
easy.
Call me crazy, but I get the impression you're not entirely convinced.
Oh no, I'm completely convinced. I like
Why on earth would you think that? A couple of folks I don't know from Adam asked me to help them hunt for some money that probably doesn't even exist. How could I not be convinced?
I admit we're asking you to put a lot of faith in us. Hell, I'd probably be just as incredulous were I in your position.
Mr. Ackerman's a good man, Miss Legere. He's never led me astray in all the time I've known him.
I appreciate it, Danny, but I think Miss Legere's gonna need a little more than just your
Well, he seems
word.
more trustworthy than Gentleman
I've
Jake.
known quite a few moneyed folk in my time. They all got one thing in common. You know what that is?
Oh, but I'm sure you'll tell me.
I don't. Please, enlighten me.
They're good at keeping their money safe. Clark's cash is out there. I just know it. As far as your safety, you just took out a couple of brutes twice our size. It's plain to see you can take care of yourself.
I'm pretty good with my pistols, and Mr. Ackerman can talk his way out of anything. But we could use somebody who's good in a fight.
Besides, stick around old Jake long enough and you'll have enough material to write a whole book. Forget a measly little write-up in the local rag. I'm offering you a front row seat to a much better show. So, what do you say?
All right.
All right, Mr. Ackerman. I'm in. At the very least, this venture should make for an interesting tale.
I'm pleased to hear you say that.
You won't regret this, Miss Legere.
We'll set out for the lab at daybreak. And please, call me Jake.
Okay. Ooh, pretty.
Dr. Clark's laboratory is a short hike from Rosewater. After getting
Nice
run out of
screenshot.
Lamplight City, this is where he went to ground. A secluded desert facility where he could get up to who knows what. Jake, Danny, and I head there at first light to see what secrets he left behind.
Quite a sight, ain't it?
I'll say. What the hell was Clark doing out here?
That's a question for minds greater than ours, Miss Legere.
All right.
Can we talk?
What's on your mind?
I've got some more questions about you.
I'm always happy
Make a
to
good desktop
answer.
background. It
How'd
would.
you and Danny get together?
I was packing up after a run of shows in Quick Point, having a hard time of it. You see, my assistant had up and left a few days prior, so I was flying solo.
Your assistant left? Why?
The showman's life ain't for everybody. I don't fault him for it. Anyhow, Danny comes up and offers to help with the crates. You should have seen him. Eyes wide, hands shaking, downright charming. So Danny gives me a hand and we get to talking. Turns out he's got experience roping and shooting. Even gave me a demonstration. I offered him the job as my assistant on the spot. The rest, as they say, is history.
Would you care to recount some of your previous adventures?
I'd love to, but I'm afraid now just ain't the time. Soon as we have a respite, I'll be glad to regale you.
I'm impressed, Miss Legere. Never thought I'd live to see the day Jake refused to tell his story.
Just how did you come to learn about Clark's money?
Not long ago, I got to talking with a feller at the saloon. The whiskey had loosened his lips and he blabbed all about the success of his Aurum claim. But then he told me about how he'd invested most of that Aurum in Clark's research and how he wasn't the only one.
And you're certain these investors won't be wanting their money back?
Can't speak for the rest, but this feller won't. See, his aforementioned loose lips got him into trouble with some other folk. Poor bastard was shot dead in the street.
I see. Enough jabber. Let's push on. Hey, Danny?
Ma'am?
I want to know something about you, Danny.
Okay. Like what?
You and Jake known each other long?
Gosh, that's a good question. I guess it's been about 2 years?
Sounds about right.
Time goes by quick when you travel around as much as we do.
Okay.
What did you do before becoming Jake's assistant?
Oh, nothing glamorous. I was a stable hand in Quick Point. Life with Gentleman Jake is certainly more, lively.
Just how old are you, anyway?
I'll be 21 this winter, but I can handle myself just fine if that's what you're worried about.
True enough. Danny's more experienced than some folk twice his age. You'd be a fool to underestimate him.
Have you got any family?
Sure. My parents and older brother live on the coast, near El Presidio. I write them every month. I haven't seen them in a dog's age, though. But Jake's been like family to me, really.
We should get a move on.
Okay. Let's have a look.
Guess it shouldn't come as a surprise that the front door is not wide open for us.
I don't trust the gentleman, Jake. I bet he did the shooting.
That's a serious-looking lock.
I don't think he's
For these lockpicks.
So
the most
how are we
villainous
supposed to
villain,
get
but
in?
he might be. He may be a bit of a liar in some of his stories. I think. Battering ram with dynamite locksmith. I mean, we already lockpicked another door, so.
Know if there are any locksmiths in town?
I'd prefer if we handled this ourselves. My old pal Captain Stokes is stationed nearby at Fort Beaumont. He owes me a favor. Or
Maybe he could give us some high-powered equipment to get inside.
you read my mind, Danny boy.
Oh.
Wouldn't do any harm to take a look around out here first, though.
One moment. Let's quickly go on to get this. There's a bot that's been. You know, it's automatically taking it off. Doesn't matter. I don't think you guys even see it because it's automatically caught the bot message. What do we
Dr.
got?
Clark really liked his sarsaparilla. There must be at least 30 empty bottles in these crates.
I once drank 10 bottles of sarsaparilla for a bet.
Did you win?
Well, yes, and no.
Okay, thanks for sharing.
Doing some tidying, are we?
We might find some use for these. Come help me. I can't carry them all myself.
Hey, I ain't gonna start belly aching if you want to go around collecting refuse. Might fetch us a few shillings if we sell them back at the Jack of Diamonds.
There you go. And some for you.
Thanks.
All right, we got some bottles.
Must take ages for any correspondence to get out here.
Probably beats having to hike into town, though.
Looks like Clark missed his last mail delivery.
Ooh, what is it?
February 12th,
Did not mean to skip
1850.
through that.
Dr. Clark, I hope this letter finds you well. Upon hearing news of the reactionary and ignorant ban our leaders have seen fit to impose, my thoughts went to you and your thankless labors in the wilderness. When they hounded you out after the expo, and I wouldn't be surprised if Leroy's cronies sabotaged your display to discredit you, you were undaunted. After enduring such a trying year, I know how much building that lab out there meant to you. A turning point in your fortunes, or so it seemed.
In about 6 years.
I'm sure you will persevere once more. One day when rationality again prevails in the halls of government and this silly thing is lifted, I hope to take you up on your offer of a tour. If you've returned to the bosom of civilization by then, all the better. With warm regards, Dr. Roderick Nethersoul.
What a name.
P.S. How you managed to rig a TT-180 console to control both your equipment and door mechanisms still baffles me. Mine is destined for the scrapyard.
I missed a bit at the beginning there. What was that?
February 12th,
1850.
1850.
Okay.
With
So we can assume it's 1850 then. What kind of lock is this? His soul is in the nether? Yeah. The
Locked up
nether.
tight.
Whoever closed this place up really didn't want anybody getting in.
I mean, we could unlock the padlock, but there's also...
Locked up.
Whoever...
But there is also the situation of...
No use. This lock is way too complicated.
I mean,
I think we're gonna need to get creative.
it's
Ford stockpile might have something that could help.
Okay.
Wonder if Dr. Clark boarded these up himself. The good doctor was pretty self-sufficient out here.
Okay. Oh, who's this? Hello.
What are you doing? This is no place for sightseers.
And just who in the ether are you?
Such disrespect. You toy with forces you do not understand.
The lady asked you a question.
Is he got a
sir.
tinfoil hat?
Heed my warning. Stay away from this place. Its mysteries are not for you.
Hey, wait! You forgot your hat?
What was that all about?
Good question.
What did we get there? Oh, hold on, wrong thing.
Tinfoil. Why was that man wearing it as a hat?
Let's try it out.
This isn't really my style.
Oh god, that's funny. Alright, so we can go left or right. Let's try going this way.
No sign of that odd bearded fellow. I wonder where he scampered off to.
I reckon we got ourselves bigger fish to fry right now, Miss Leger.
Okay. Oh, this gives me some classic LucasArts vibes.
Hey, look, a show!
What a racket.
She's pretty good, though.
What's this?
Excuse me? I said, excuse me. Hey!
Caramba, you made me miss. What do you want?
Who are you, and what are you doing out here?
I am Marisol de la Vega, Lieutenant General of the Constitutional Army of New Spain. My compadre is Corporal Eugenio Garcia.
Pleasure. I'm Harley Leger, and these are my associates Jake Ackerman and Danny Luo.
Good to meet you. In answer to your second question, Eugenio and I are practicing our shooting while we wait for our jefe to conclude his business.
Okay.
Who did you say you were waiting for?
Our leader, General Filomeno Marquez. Surely you've heard of him.
No.
Afraid not.
Híjole, it really is true. Vespuccians don't pay attention to anything unless it happens right in front of their faces. You do not know of the new Spanish Revolution?
Should I?
Ugh.
What about this revolution, then?
I do not have the time or the desire to explain the particulars of our struggle to you.
Fair enough.
A non-imperialist periodical if you can find one, and you might learn something.
Alright.
Do you know anything about the laboratory just over yonder?
That abandoned wreck is a laboratory?
It was at some point.
Clearly you know more about it than I do.
That's all for now. Happy shooting.
Thanks, gringa.
Oh, that's interesting.
Vaya.
Hey, Danny?
Ma'am?
Who do you suppose that odd bearded fellow was?
I don't know. But I hope we don't run into him again. He gave me a strange feeling.
Got any of your own ideas on how we might get into the lab?
Well, I think Jake has the right idea. We should ask for help at the fort.
We should get a move on. Can we talk?
What's on your mind?
Any idea who that odd fellow with the beard was?
Not a clue. Sure seemed a few cows short of a herd, didn't he?
I'll say. Let's hope he doesn't cause us any trouble. Have you had any new ideas for getting inside the lab?
Not a one, unfortunately. I believe asking at the fort is our best hope.
Yeah, I guess
Enough
that's
jabber. Let's push on.
Asking at the fort.
Anda!
Oh, this guy. Can we talk to this guy?
Best not to disturb her unless I've got something to say.
No, he's got nothing else to say. Okay.
That thing has seen some action.
Alright, what is this?
Nobody in sight, but I'm sure there are guards somewhere. Hey! Anybody in there?
What is it?
Oh, hello.
We'd like to come in, please.
More unannounced visitors? Must be my lucky day. What country exiled you?
None. We just want to speak with Captain Stokes.
Afraid he's indisposed.
Why don't you tell Stokes that Jake Ackerman needs a word?
Gentleman Jake?
At your service.
We're not in the market for entertainment. It's like I said. Oh, dad blasted. Would you knock it off with the shooting already? I can't hear myself think!
You call yourself a soldier when the sound of gunfire sets you quivering like a coward? Pathetic.
Look, I can't help you. I'm sorry.
Would you happen to know anything about the lab just over that way?
No, and quite frankly, I don't care to.
Alright.
What do you all get up to in this place?
I'm really not at liberty to say, ma'am.
I wouldn't be asking to see Captain Stokes if it wasn't important.
I opened the gate for the last person who said that to me today. And what did I get as a reward? His 2 cronies raising hell for the past hour. No, ma'am, not again.
Carry on, soldier.
Right.
Okay. Well, we can't get in that way.
Caramba!
Or maybe another way in, though.
Caramba!
I wanted to take a side passageway or something. Or is it just all one thing? Okay, so the only places we can go to are these 2. Let's go. Let's just stay here. Because there's probably something we can do. What have we got? We've got bottles. You guys want some bottles? Like that might be fun target practice.
Why are you giving this to me?
I thought you might be able to use them for targets.
A fine thought. Put them on the wall over there. My thanks.
All right.
Vaya.
Well, I guess that's that.
Hey!
You again? What is it now?
Say, do you think you could practice your shooting somewhere else?
Why?
The fort guard isn't happy about the noise.
Well, then maybe he should choose another profession.
You're pretty good, but I bet I can beat you at shooting.
I am the best shot in New Spain.
Care to prove it? How about we use those bottles I gave you as targets?
Very well. Prepare to be humiliated.
Say, Jake, could you give us a hand?
My pleasure.
Oh god.
How many bottles are there?
About 30.
Then we will each shoot at 5. Whoever breaks the most wins.
All right.
Sounds
okay.
fair.
I am feeling generous this morning. Would you like the opportunity to practice first?
Sure.
Yes, actually.
Very well.
Ready with those bottles, Jake?
Yep, get ready. Set. Bottle in the air.
Oh my god. Okay, that's fast.
Incoming.
Pure luck.
Okay.
Bottle in the air.
Pure luck.
Bottle in the air.
Nice shot.
Bottle in the air.
Nice shot.
Not bad. Let us see if you
Okay.
can repeat that performance.
Let's do this.
All right, for real this time.
Ready, set, incoming.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Incoming.
Pure luck.
Incoming.
Nice shot.
Bottle in the air.
Nice shot.
Bottle in the air.
Fantastic.
My turn.
Here we go.
Damn.
Here we go.
Dale.
You missed that one. Try another.
Anda.
Bottle in the air.
Anda.
Here we go.
Híjole. What? You beat me? Don't believe this. Beat me by a pinche gringa pendeja.
Hey, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Vámonos de
Language.
aquí.
Nothing worse than a sore loser.
That was some great shooting, Miss Leger.
Oh.
Tell me something I don't know.
I knew bringing her along was a wise move.
All right. Well.
Hey, guard.
What is it?
Sure is a nice, peaceful morning, isn't it?
What happened to those cacophonous varmints?
They took their business elsewhere. Now, would you be so kind as to let us in?
So long as you promise to keep it down.
Deal.
All right. Let's go.
Well now, what have we here?
I appreciate your hospitality, Captain, but I must admit I am perplexed by the change in your position.
It's not my position, General Marquez. It's the position of the government of the Commonwealth of Vespuccia. I have some discretion in the execution of my orders, but I'm sure you can appreciate that there's a chain of command.
I am, of course, most grateful for the aid you have rendered in the past.
Take care,
I'm sure
Mars.
that your recommendations carry weight with your superiors. If you would be willing to lend your influence in support of our cause.
Perhaps we can speak of this at another time, Mr. Marquez. As I said, I have other concerns to deal with.
Of course. I look forward to our next meeting.
Captain Stokes, you're a difficult man to see.
Ackerman, how the hell are you?
Leave this to me.
I recognize that voice.
My hand.
Good day, Captain.
Rosewater IMDb. Who is that?
Madam?
This kind of sounds like
just a moment.
Bill Ratner, maybe?
I have seen you before.
Let me have a look. Let me have a look. 1 second. It is Bill Ratner. Nice.
That's right. I'm glad to see you on your feet again. That was a nasty tumble you had.
Ah, of course. The newspaper office. I owe you my thanks.
Happy to help.
What's your name, anyway?
Harley Leger. This is Danny Luo, and over there is Jake Ackerman.
Sir?
I am General Filomeno Marquez. Though Filomeno seems to be difficult for you Vespuccians, so you may call me Phil.
Phil it is. Good to meet you.
And you? What brings you to the fort?
We're looking for help getting into the abandoned lab back there.
And why might that old ruin interest you,
We're looking for something, and there's a chance we could find some clues there.
Only clues? Perhaps there are other useful items as well. In fact, I could get the laboratory open so we could both go in. If Stokes were not so stingy with his munitions.
How do you mean?
My specialty is demolitions and explosives.
Oh.
I just do not have any on hand right now. I thought perhaps the captain might once again be willing to assist a fellow warrior in a righteous cause, but...
It's like I told Mr. Marquez, my hands are tied. Much as I'd like to help, I've got enough to worry about with my men missing. In fact, I was just heading out to search, so if you'll excuse me.
Hold your horses, Captain. How about we come with? I'm sure you could use the extra eyes.
It's mighty kind of you, Ackerman. Can't promise it'll be safe, though. We'll be going near native territory.
Come on, Stokes. You forget who you're talking to? I laugh in the face of danger. We'll ride with you.
Your friend is quite the braggadocio, no?
Yeah.
That he is, and he doesn't ever seem to let up.
You're all in, then?
Apparently so.
I will accompany you as well.
Sorry, who are you?
Y'all can get acquainted on the trail.
That's Phil.
Let's get going. Sun's almost up. Appreciate y'all coming out with me. Strength in numbers and all that.
Our pleasure, Captain.
Exactly who is it you're looking for?
My first lieutenant, John Mulberry.
So when did your man go missing?
He left leading the patrol last evening and they never returned. I just hope the natives didn't get him. Things have been a bit tense of late.
Okay.
On the subject of missing people, did you ever cross paths with Dr. Bennett Clark?
The mad doctor? No, ma'am. My man and I steered clear of him. Used to be we'd see strange lights and hear weird noises coming from his lab. Don't know what he was up to out there, but it weren't natural.
You been stationed at Fort Beaumont long?
Nearly 4 years now. For the most part, it's a fairly quiet post. Of course, Rosewater's nearby and usually good for a diversion.
On that note, I'd be honored to have you at my show, Captain.
Ah, yes. Soon enough, Ackerman.
Okay.
What makes you believe the natives are behind Mulberry's disappearance?
Our patrol perimeter goes close to their village. Wouldn't be the first time we've come to blows over boundaries. They fall back once they see our superior firepower. Thankfully, they haven't got guns, but they've been getting mighty bold lately.
So you're saying they've gotten aggressive when you've gone near their land? Sounds to me like they're just defending themselves.
Listen, Leger, with all due respect, you've no idea what you're talking about. We've
All
already
right,
given
is
these
it?
folks
That's
an inch, but they have taken a mile. The government's tried appeasing them with treaties and such, but those ain't worth the paper they're written on. You'd sooner reason with a coyote.
Well, I think...
Oh. Oh.
Engines!
He lost his hat.
So far, we have been stymied in our efforts to search Clark's laboratory. Captain Stokes let out a search patrol, and he let all us supplicants tag along. But it wasn't enough to deter the native war party that ambushed us.
Well.
Stokes slipped the trap laid for him, leaving us four to stand in his stead. Now we await intelligence of our captors and some sign of our fate.
Well, isn't this a fine turn of events?
Well then. Certainly got ourselves into trouble, haven't we?
Must be for storage.
What else is in here?
Dried corn. At least we won't starve.
If that's all there is, starving might be preferable.
Dried corn.
If that...
It's quite ornate. Brightens the place up, I suppose.
It is noble to find beauty in dark moments, but perhaps not so very useful.
Well, I'm just looking around. What have we got here?
This basket's full of soap.
Yeah, at least we can keep clean.
Uh-huh. Except there is no water in here.
Then let's hope we can get out of here soon.
I'll take a soap.
I suppose all of these were made here. Quite a collection. Phil?
Eh?
I never imagined volunteering for a search party would include free accommodation.
I must say, of everyone I have shared a jail cell with, you have the liveliest sense of humor.
Okay.
So, this isn't the first time you've been locked up?
Certainly not. At least these people seem more hospitable to their prisoners than the Spanish.
Got any suggestions for how we might get out of here?
Not just yet. I want to see how things play out.
What do you mean?
Something about this does not feel right. We know very little of our captors. I cannot devise anything until that changes.
Did you see what became of Captain Stokes?
Yes, though I wish I had not. Pinche cobarde.
That doesn't sound like a good thing.
He turned and ran. Took his men and abandoned us. To think I held him as a man of honor. Bastardo!
Whoa!
Easy there, Phil.
Forgive me, but I cannot abide a deserter.
It takes a low sort to abandon someone who's counting on you. I'll just be over here.
Hmm.
Did smashing that pot make you feel any better?
It did, yes.
Okay. Well, we've got some soap and we've got a shard of pottery. Not sure what good it'll do us, but we have it now.
Hey, Jake?
Miss Legere?
Making yourself comfortable?
Not really. His bench is hard as a rock. Could do with some back support, too. But it's as good a place as any to think of a way out of here.
Had any ideas for escaping yet?
You'll be the first to know, I assure you.
Did you manage to see what became of Captain Stokes?
No, I was a mite preoccupied. Just as well. If I'd known he was running off, I'd have shown him a thing or two.
Surely a fellow of daring do like yourself has been in a predicament like this before?
More times than I can count.
How'd you manage to get free?
Well, you gotta understand, every situation's different. Easiest way's usually bribing a guard. But sometimes, you gotta get creative. Well, this one time But no, that wouldn't work here.
Why not?
'Cause I'd need a few things, and coming by them in here will be next to impossible.
What do you need?
If you've got a plan, it's at least worth trying.
I reckon you're right. Main thing I need is something pliable, like wax or soft wood.
Soap might work.
Then something sharp to shape it with.
Some pottery might work.
And finally, some shiny material. Metallic
foil might
would
work.
be best. Find me those things, and we might be in business.
I might just have
I'll leave you to your thoughts.
all three of those. Alright, take this.
This sharp enough for you?
It'll do, it'll do.
Before we handle this stuff, let's talk to Danny real quick and see if he's got any suggestions.
Hey, Danny?
What is it?
Relax, Danny. It'll be okay.
You think so?
Sure. If these folks meant us any harm, they wouldn't have bothered capturing us.
I didn't think of it that way. I sure hope you're right.
Got any thoughts on how we might get out of here?
They took my guns, so not really.
You and Jake must have gotten into scrapes like this before, right?
Well, I have, yes. Although it was before I met Jake. But is this really the time for stories?
Fair enough. Perhaps another time. Were you able to see how Captain Stokes fared?
I lost sight of him when I got knocked off my horse. Can't believe he just left us. Why would he do that?
Suspicious. Smell it.
Smells like lye.
Here you go, buddy. Have some soap.
Is this pliable enough for you?
This'll do nicely.
And then this should be shiny.
Will this work for what you need?
Shiny and metallic. Perfect.
What is your plan? What?
Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. You got everything.
Sure did. Now, will you tell me about
What are you thinking about, MacGyver?
I'm bluffing our way out of here. Give me a few minutes and you'll see what I mean. Voila.
Okay.
You carved a gun out of soap and wrapped it in tinfoil?
That's right.
All right.
It's certainly creative, I'll give you that.
Necessity is the mother of invention,
Right.
as they say. Anyhow, soon as somebody comes in, I'll draw this and catch them off guard. You knock them out in the confusion, then we make our escape.
How big was that bar of soap? Good
And
question.
You have confidence this will work?
These folk don't know firearms, they can't tell the difference.
But, what if...
Hello in there? I'm coming inside.
Well, ain't this fortuitous?
Well, this can only go well.
Greetings. I'm Nadine. I've come to...
Hands up!
Is that a fake gun?
Yes?
Don't mind my friend here. Nadine, was it?
Yes, Nadine Redbird.
Harley Leger.
I was going to think, yeah, is this the same Nadine that Doc Sedgwick mentioned?
Wait a minute. Weren't you Doc Sedgwick's apprentice?
That's right. You know him?
We spoke briefly, and he took care of Phil over there.
That's good. I do miss working with him.
Does that mean this is a medical call?
The chief sent me to make sure none of you were hurt. She also wants to speak with whoever's in charge of your group.
They're supposed to stick it in their back so they can't see it,
All
dude.
due
Yeah.
respect, sir, but after that little trick you just pulled, you're out of the running.
I'll go then.
All right, come with me. I bring you Miss Harley Leger, representing the captives.
Thank you, Nadine. You may return and tend to the others.
I will.
Enter and be welcome.
All right.
You may call me Chief Lutzi. I am responsible for the people of this village.
Pleasure's all mine.
You have violated the borders of the Autumn Nation, duly established by recognized treaty with your government. Miss Leger, why are you here?
We were only accompanying Captain Stokes on a patrol.
You serve Stokes. Curious. You do not dress like a soldier.
We have nothing to do with the fort.
Who are you then?
I'm a journalist for the Rosewater Post. My companions and I are researching Dr. Bennett Clark. We only came to Stokes to ask for help getting inside the abandoned laboratory on the other side of the valley. Thought maybe you could spare some dynamite or something. But first we had to ride with him to find First Lieutenant Mulberry and his missing men.
I see. What did he tell you of us?
Let's just say he didn't paint a very pretty picture.
Unsurprising. Do you share his opinion?
No, not really.
Not at all. Stokes is just some windbag I met this morning. I'll make up my own mind.
That is good to know. The Autumn mean you no harm, Miss Leger. However, for months, the fort soldiers have routinely violated our borders and harassed our people. Just last night, a band of them came, led by this man, Mulberry. They attacked us in our fields and set fire to our crops.
That's not very nice.
Were there any casualties among your people?
No deaths, although a number were burned or wounded in the fight. As for Mulberry, we captured him. He is under guard in one of our empty storehouses. Stokes has turned our village into a prison, and now he is recruiting civilians to come after us. I fear this will not end until everything we have has been turned to ash. But I cannot allow that. Something must be done.
You're right. Can we help you in any way?
I believe so. And you can get what you're after as well.
I'm listening.
Our scouts have observed an army wagon making regular deliveries to the fort from Rosewater. It comes in the night, when few others are willing to travel, and always it arrives a day or two after the train stops in town.
Then that would be... tonight? I just arrived on the latest train into Rosewater.
Yes, exactly. I cannot know for sure, but I believe this wagon carries supplies, along with weapons and munitions. The soldiers use these to strengthen themselves, then come and deprive us of what little we have. If you and your people were to obtain them, it would be to our mutual benefit. We would have a means of defense. You would have the tools to enter this laboratory, and Stokes would be deprived of his armaments.
Alright, let's do it.
It's a bold move, but I think my companions will be willing to aid your cause.
I am glad to hear it.
Tonight, then, huh?
Tonight, or not at all. The cover of darkness will be to your advantage. Our scouts have also noted that only 2 men guard the wagon.
Guess I'd better tell the others and get to planning.
You are welcome to rest here in the meantime.
Thank you, Chief Lutzi.
May the Earthmaker guide you.
Alright then. Interesting.
Everyone in good shape?
Mr. Lua has some minor bruising, but your friends are otherwise healthy.
Good to know. Hey, fellas, come on out here. We got some business to discuss.
Business.
I take it your meeting with the chief went well?
It did. These are good people who can help us if we help them.
Helped them? With what?
With Stokes and the fort. Turns out the reason Mulberry didn't come back is that he was taken prisoner while conducting an unprovoked raid on this village. A raid Stokes himself ordered.
What?
Army soldiers have been crossing into Otham territory and attacking them without justification.
It's true. I have treated many of the wounded myself.
Hijo de la... We cannot let this injustice stand.
That is troubling. But what can we do about it?
Chief Lutzi suggested we hit him where it hurts, the fort's supply chain. So we'll be carrying out our own raid on a delivery wagon.
And to think just yesterday you were having reservations about robbing folk. Reckon it's true what they say about the frontier changing people.
I have no qualms about robbing the government.
I don't know about you, but I don't feel too bad about lifting a little from the crown. It glitters enough already.
If the government is engaged in oppressing these people, you should be proud to resist.
Now listen up, because we've got some preparations to make. And the wagon will be coming through tonight, according to the chief.
We can get the munitions Phil needs to get us into the lab, along with some weapons and supplies for the Otham.
The old 1-2 punch. I like it.
Only question is, what's the best approach?
I'm thinking we create a distraction. We get the wagon to stop, then you and I keep the driver occupied while Danny and Phil sneak the stuff out.
I prefer a more direct approach. You said the wagon was poorly guarded, eh? We have enough fighters to overpower them. When they see they are outmatched, we should be able to take what we need without firing a shot.
Wouldn't it be better to do this without drawing any attention? You could set up a roadblock, then sneak out what you need while they investigate.
All good plans. Have you got anything, Danny?
No, but I think we should be careful. Something like this could so easily go wrong.
So, what's it going to be?
This is very Conquest of the Longbow. I like it. In fact, very, very Conquest of the Longbow. I think it was listed as one of the inspirations for this game. But That's really, really cool. I like that. I quite like the idea of creating a roadblock and sneaking the supplies out. I don't want to risk anybody being in a dangerous position. I think this is probably the best option. I'm going to go with it.
Let's go with Nadine's suggestion.
I do think it's best if none of us are seen committing this act of banditry.
Agreed. This is a stealth job. Nadine and I will search the wagon. You boys hang back and take whatever we unload. Well, we better get ready. Let's hope this goes off without a hitch.
Oh my goodness.
What in tarnation? What's all this crap in the road? Oh, they don't pay me enough for this. Buford, get up here and help.
Buford. What a name. That was some CQC.
I don't think we'll have long.
Oh god. Quickly save the game. We want to mess this up. Okay, take it. Take it.
Nadine, help me unload this. Help me with this, would you, Nadine? Jackpot. Here's some dynamite. And a good cache of firearms. These should serve the Otham well. There's also a letter.
What does it say?
It's a manifest. Hang on. Here's the combination for that safe.
Whatever you do, be quick.
A good cache of fire.
We haven't much time.
I'll be damned.
What is it?
Bars of Aurum. Lots of them.
Odd. Why deliver these to the fort?
Good question. Too bad they're marked. We could have had a nice payday, but at least there's a bit of loose cash in here.
Okay, that's something.
Just a bunch of uniforms.
Hey, Evil Troy, welcome.
Hey, do you see these crates over here?
What about them?
They're all marked.
Thank you so much for the raid.
Isn't
How are you
this
doing?
delivery coming from Rosewater?
Yeah, that's very odd.
We should go. The guards won't be distracted forever.
Right. Let's get out of here.
All right.
You have come back to us. Did you obtain what you needed?
Yes. With this dynamite, getting into the lab will be quite easy.
Then I am glad the
What were you
raid
playing,
proved
Troy?
fruitful.
Chief Lutzi,
Playing games with one hand.
now that you can arm your
How did that go for you?
what's your plan?
I can certainly understand your curiosity, General Marquez.
You know me.
We are close enough to the new Spanish border to keep informed of current
You won.
events.
All right, good.
To answer your question, we will defend ourselves. Peace has not worked against those who wish to harm us, so we must answer them with force.
You strike me as a wise and capable leader, but allow me to offer one piece of advice. Do not underestimate your enemy. Nothing angers a tyrant like a show of resistance.
I appreciate it, General, but I believe we will overcome.
I truly hope you do.
We found something else.
Celeste with one hand yesterday.
Aurum
Wow,
bombs.
okay.
And you did not take any?
They were all marked. Traceable. We'd have no use for them.
Caramba. It's always something, isn't it?
The last thing we need is the Royals on us for stealing their Aurum.
The Royal Police? Nah, out here they'd send in the army. Or God forbid, the Blackburns.
The Union Busters?
Unions, heads, you name it.
The big question is, why send Aurum to the fort?
An intriguing line of inquiry, but I ain't sure the fort's dealings should concern us.
Perhaps not. But I am curious as well. Something unusual is happening here. Stokes was all too happy to aid our cause before my exile. Now he acts like a stranger. It cannot be a coincidence. I am going to charge my Lieutenant General with finding out more about these shipments.
Chasing more wagons full of Aurum?
Something like that. It is clear there will be no more aid from Stokes now, and I still have an army to outfit. Perhaps we will find something we can actually keep.
If money's what you're after, maybe you'd entertain the notion of joining our posse. That goes for you too, Miss Redbird.
Hell yeah.
What are you talking about?
I'll explain everything.
Assemble
on
a
the way back to
team.
the lab. Danny, you stay here and help unload the supplies. You can give Nadine the lowdown. Come meet us at the lab.
I like these guys.
Will do.
I am sending one of our hunters to return Mulberry to the fort. He can show you the way back.
Much appreciated. Right, let's get a move on. You coming with us, Miss Legere?
And miss seeing all the fireworks when you finally set them off? I think not. And can it with the Miss Legere bunk? It's Harley.
Duly noted. Now let's get going.
Just one more thing before you go, Harley. You said you were a journalist, yes?
That's right.
Do you believe the townspeople would take an interest in our cause?
Some might. I can certainly tell my employer about the treatment you've received.
Please do. I have a statement I would like you to carry back. The Autumn are a peaceful people. We wish to be your good neighbors and friends. But if a Vespuccian soldier or any other person comes with violent intent to harm us, we will do what we must to protect our people.
Got it. Would you be willing to sit for an interview with someone from the Post?
Gladly. My words are for all who will listen with open hearts.
I'll make sure your message is received.
Thank you.
Hopefully you you heal up promptly,
Thanks for showing
Troy.
us back, partner. We can take it from here. Well, would you look at that? Didn't think I'd be seeing old Jesse again. I'm keeping this arrowhead as a good luck charm.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe some collector out there would be interested in acquiring the arrowhead that nearly wiped out Gentleman Jake.
Maybe.
Is he always like this?
As far as I can tell, yeah.
Hey, Phil? Let's talk.
What about?
There is some permanent damage, but it would not be big. Okay.
So how did you wind up here in Vespuccia?
That is a very long story.
Caco Cam, I can do that for you.
Perhaps another time.
Fair enough.
Here you go, Surfer Frog. How you doing, buddy?
I have to ask, what went on at the Rosewater Post?
That so-called newspaper editor dared to write that the People's Revolution was over, that we had been crushed by the forces of the Spanish army. Defeated, we will not abandon our cause. I demanded a correction. What did I get instead? A defenestration.
Rough
Good work.
break.
Yes.
Right. Carry on.
Oh, Caco's visible again. Last time I literally just opened my apps in the wrong order, basically. I need to mix it up before I open OBS, and I opened OBS before mix it up. If I do it the wrong way around, then the mix it up notifications will be heard but not seen. I will stretch. I'm really enjoying this game so far. The characters are just so cool and interesting, and I'm having a blast. And I'm really liking the visual style as well. All right, anything else we can?
I wonder how things will go for the Autumn now that they have firearms.
Well enough, I hope. Provided they don't point them at us.
Hydration, I can do that too,
Like
Megazaurus.
Stokes
Thank
was
you.
carrying.
Pity it's in such a sorry state.
Dankeschön.
I shouldn't leave this here.
I feel like it could be
It's
handy.
good to see someone who respects their country.
Can we talk?
What's on your mind? 'Cause you know I've been wondering about the Autumn. What do you suppose will happen to them now that they're armed with guns?
And that mug. It's a good one, yeah. It's just a glass tankard, basically. That's what I use for water. Carries a lot of water. It's nice and sturdy. I like it.
I don't know, but at least they have a fighting chance now.
If Stokes attacks and they successfully fend him off, then perhaps he will leave them alone. But it will certainly not happen without bloodshed.
Well, best of luck to him.
Enough jabber. Let's push on.
All right, let's move then. Okay.
You're quite certain you know what you're doing?
Just leave everything to me and stand far, far back.
Okay, explosives expert, you do it. Put him off. Putting my hand to rest. Absolutely, yeah. He knows to like it. Cheers, Troy. You take care. Thank you so much for the raid again.
Impressive work there, Phil.
Gracias.
And an explosion will certainly liven up your article. Eh, Harley?
Alright, here we go. Interesting.
Well, slap my behind and call me Betsy.
I'm not doing that.
Not sure what I was expecting to find, but it wasn't this.
It has been completely ransacked.
Still, there's gotta be some indication of where Clark took his money. Let's take a look around. But watch yourselves. No telling what any of these doohickeys might be capable of.
Oh, we have a lot to look at here. Alright, well, let's look at this first.
I can't really see through the porthole, but it looks dense in there.
I'm very curious about this.
Looks like it's connected to the door somehow.
And that wire runs to the console back there.
Won't do us any good if there's nothing power in this place, though.
At least Dr. Clark practiced fire safety.
Okay.
I can't see through. The window is too grimy.
Alright. What is this thing?
A wooden mannequin in a cage?
Oh.
I have so many questions.
You sure you want them answered?
I mean, my natural curiosity is taking over,
There's about
absolutely.
2 inches of dust. Empty. Not really surprising. I can't make heads nor tails of this chicken scratch.
What's this? It's like a laser?
Looks like some type of cannon, and it's pointing right at the cage.
Interesting.
What in the ether is this thing?
I wouldn't get too close.
What in the... Some kind of console. Seems to connect to a few things.
Alright.
Is this some kind of combination or code? TT-180. Must be this contraption's model number.
Okay, a TT-180 was mentioned in that letter that we saw before.
February 12th, upon hearing when they, after one day with warm P.S. How you managed to rig a TT-180 console to control
Okay.
both your equipment and door mechanism.
So that's gonna help us with the door. Interesting.
Not much left. Some books and a broken device. Not much.
Alright, there's more over this way as well.
This Clark fellow was into some strange things, wasn't he?
I'm starting to understand why he chose to do his work out in the middle of nowhere.
This may have held something interesting once, but now it's just lodging for spiders. This must be where Clark parked his rear during his experiments. This is where all the cables wind up. I get the impression this is what powers everything in here.
We just need to get it running again somehow.
Well, let's take a closer look. Okay. There's a switch to flip.
I bet the machine's guts are behind this panel.
May have to take a peek at some point. But for now, we're just having a little look around.
I can't begin to fathom what these...
Nothing of use to us.
Anything interesting in there?
Not really. Probably why they were left behind.
Oh, excuse me.
Guess we won't get to see what's up on the roof.
Just as well. I prefer to keep my feet on the ground.
Looks like a toolbox. What's it doing all the way up there?
Can I get to it?
Way too high for me.
Want me to give you a boost?
Nah, I still couldn't reach. I'll think of something else.
Okay. I wonder if we can get that flagpole. Also, I wonder if we can clean this window a little bit or something. No? Maybe not. Okay. Let's head outside. what's this? Oh, hello.
Dios mío, what is this abomination?
Howdy, folks. Interested in learning about Coltit's miracle elixir?
Of course we are, little lady.
Then step on over here.
Is that a child?
Boy, oh boy, I sure wish I was you.
Beg pardon?
Why, today's your lucky day.
Is that right?
Yes, sir. You're just in time to experience the travesty of Xander Coltit's miracle elixir.
The what now?
Oh, dang. I mean, the majesty
That's
of
what I thought you
Xander
meant.
Coltit III's miracle elixir. My name is Olivia Coltit, and I'm here to answer all your questions about this evolutionary new medication.
Are you sure you don't mean revolutionary new medication?
That's what I said. So, do you want to hear about it or not?
Sure, why not?
Fine, I'll bite. Tell me about this miracle elixir.
Glad you asked. From the maker of the wildly popular Coltit's emulsified soporific comes Coltit's miracle elixir, the finest, most elective tonic in Vespuccia.
All right.
Guaranteed to treat and cure all illnesses from arthritis to yellow fever.
That sounds
and
handy.
for a special limited time, we're selling it for the treasonable price of just
Treasonable?
£5.
I mean, what's in it?
Sounds pretty miraculous, all right. What's in this elixir, anyway?
Oh, I don't know. Daddy's the one who makes it. Oh, but I know he gets his secret ingredient from some lady named Ethel. He always talks about her when he makes a new batch.
Ethanol? Is that what it... I think they're watching a horror movie. How about 2 crowns?
5 crowns seems a bit pricey. How about I give you 2 instead?
Sorry, ma'am. Daddy told me not to hackle.
Yeah, alright.
All right, give me a bottle.
Yay! Thanks, ma'am.
I have a feeling it's ethanol, so,
How about your friends? Want 2 more for them?
We'll share.
Oh, okay. If you change your mind, you know where to find me. And if we're gone by then, well, best of luck to you.
You wouldn't happen to be related to a kid in Rosewater named Jem, would you?
No, ma'am. Far as I know, I'm a lonely child.
Why are you parked in the middle of the desert when there's a town full of potential customers not 2 miles from here?
Oh, I'm just minding the wagon while my daddy's doing his business at the fort. But he told me to stand out here and detract anybody who might come by.
And has anyone else come by?
Oh, sure. Tons of folk. Only one who didn't stop was a feller on horseback. Too bad, 'cause the guy he was hauling looked like he could have used some elixir.
all right.
Say, do you know anything about that lab over there?
No, but I did hear a big boom coming from that way. Was that your doing?
No.
Oh, come on, you could tell me. I'm no tattler.
I said no. Now stop asking.
Fine, jeez.
I think I've heard enough for now. We'll just be going.
It was a real pressure.
Whew. That'll put hairs on your chest. Professor Xander Coltit III's Miracle Elixir. Guaranteed to cure what ails you. I'm sure that's the case if what ails you is sobriety.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's some kind of alcohol. Which, you know, could be useful in some situation. Right. Okay, if we're inside, let's start flipping switches and looking at things. I mean, I want to get my hands on this, but I'm sure I'll figure out a way to do that at some point. Alright. Because presumably we're going to need to get behind this this panel as well.
I'm guessing this thing needs to hit full power before the machine turns on. No good. There's some power getting through, but it needs more.
Okay.
I can't remove it with my...
Right, we definitely need to get something for that. Okay. I bet if I try flipping switches on this, it's not going to do anything. Oh, actually, what's this?
Is this some kind of combination or code?
So if I turn that to 9... Oh.
One of the dials is missing. Just my luck.
Okay, we need a dial for that. I don't think we have anything that can act as a dial right now. That's where it needs to be, and this one needs to be on 7.
It won't turn any...
Okay.
Nothing
Yeah.
happened. This console isn't getting any power.
Alright, so we need to get some power. That's what I thought would happen. So presumably we can...
Looks like it...
And that won't...
Okay.
No handle. Must be some other way to open it.
Okay. So we're going to have to get into that thing to use this and also get a dial. And then we can presumably get through this door. Okay. Let's have a little look around then. We need something to get that toolbox down, first of all. That's going to be one of the first ports of call.
Now there's something you don't see every day.
You can say that again.
Okay, so that's that, that's that. I don't think there's anywhere else I can click right now. So... I wonder if they'll even let us back in here. I don't see any reason they carved out from soap gun. Oh, yes, of
What
course.
is it?
Did Captain Stokes come back here? We lost sight of him after the attack.
He's here. Don't think he's up to receiving anyone, though.
Carry on, soldier.
Alright. Well. Okay. I don't think there's anything else to do here then. Okay. Is there any other place we can, like, can we go on the side of this at all? Or is it just the one area? Yeah, I think it is. Okay. It seems like everything we need might be in here then. Maybe I have something that can be used to knock this down. Oh, I can just use this
Maybe
to...
this will help.
Oh.
Then again, maybe not.
Well, that was rubbish.
This may have held something interesting once, but this...
Can I move that? I can't move that. I can't reach that, though.
way too high for me.
Want me to give you...
Nah.
Do I have anything that could work?
That's not...
Yeah, that was a long shot. I need like a stick or something. Or something else to move on. Is there like another chair around I can push around? I don't think so.
Not much. What in the...
I would...
Empty...
Okay, let's have a quick chat to these guys. Maybe they've got some
Phil?
ideas.
Let's talk.
What about?
Can you think of any way to get that box down?
I'm afraid reaching high things has never been my forte.
1 second.
Clark's lab is really quite something, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, something unnatural, something perverse. What possessed him to undertake this research is beyond me.
How How did you become so proficient with explosives?
The science of it always fascinated me. Even as a child, I read a great deal about mining and demolitions. The lessons were invaluable. So, when my parents sent me to university, I studied civil engineering. Most people do not realize just how much care must be taken when dealing with dynamite.
Oh, yes.
Hang on. You have a university education?
Of course. Does this surprise you?
No, I just didn't think a revolutionary would have a degree.
Well, I do. From the Escuela Superior de Ingenieros in Madrid.
Right. Carry on.
Alright. Does Jake have any other ideas about the box?
What's on your mind?
Any clever ideas to get to that confounded box?
Not too many, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Hang on, I've got an idea. Why don't you just shoot the box down?
Big pardon?
Let's put that gunslinging know-how of yours to work.
I may be a showman, but I ain't a performing monkey. Besides, I never perform sharpshooting tricks without a crowd.
Might I borrow that arrowhead for a spell?
By all means. Maybe it'll bring you some luck, too.
Okay.
This place sure is something, isn't it?
I admit, I never gave much credence to all that ethericity business, but seeing all them contraptions and appurtenances, let's just say it's given me a new appreciation for Clark's tenacity.
Enough jabber. Let's push on.
Alright. Maybe this arrowhead is actually something we could use to open this anyway. Like, potentially that... Oops. Potentially that could work.
Let's see if this works.
Alright.
That did it.
Okay then.
Looks like something chewed through it. No wonder the power's not getting through. This wire's all corroded.
I wonder if this could be helpful.
Let's put some of this elixir to good use.
Okay.
Looks like...
Maybe this could...
This wire needs patching up.
Okay. I'm wondering if I could use one of the lockpicks or something.
This wire...
Okay, we have to patch up that wire. Maybe there's something in the toolbox that'll help. You know, I'll insist that he shoots this down.
Can we talk?
What's on your mind?
Any idea how to start up that generator?
Afraid not. These doohickeys ain't quite my bailiwick.
Crowd be damned. I want to see what's in the box.
You've proven yourself resourceful. I'm sure you can find a more practical way to get to that box that doesn't involve me wasting ammo.
Alright.
I don't understand. You showed off your prowess with a gun before. Now all I'm hearing are excuses. Why so shifty all of a sudden?
Alright, look. The truth is, I've gone a mite rusty. A couple of years ago, I could have done it with my eyes shut, but time ain't been kind to my hands.
So how did you pull off that juggling trick?
Danny's the one that shoots the ball from the wings. You want that box down so bad, ask him to help you with its back.
Enough jabber. Let's push on.
Okay.
Hey, Phil? Let's talk.
What about?
Any idea how to start up the generator?
Cloth can sometimes be used to wrap damaged wires for a temporary repair.
Oh.
Right. Carry on.
Fair enough.
There's a thought, but this is way too big.
Okay. Oh.
I hope this isn't considered treason.
Alright, let's go.
That should do it.
Okay, let's try pulling the lever. Okay, good. We're making progress here.
Fantastic.
Looks like Phil managed to get the door open.
I wonder if they found anything inside.
Oh my. Oh, interesting.
I'd say so, yes.
We are up and running.
Impressive.
This technology is amazing. What did this Clark fellow intend to do with such power?
I'm beginning to wonder about that myself.
Nice job getting the lights back on.
Get everything squared with the Otham?
I think so.
They're adequately supplied. They should be well off for some time.
Well, I suppose we should see about...
Hello? Is someone in here?
Damn. Looks like we've attracted some attention.
I come in peace. Please, make yourself known.
Guess we don't have much choice.
Hail!
Oh, hello.
Goodness, I wasn't expecting so many of you.
And we weren't expecting anybody at all.
And just who might you be?
I am Paul Burkhart, emissary of the Luminarians.
The what now?
We are disciples of Dr. Clark. Protectors
Disciples?
of his
All right.
artifacts and legacy.
No kidding. So you must know all about him then.
Quite so.
Well, isn't this our lucky day? Can you tell us what you know about him?
If you
Careful,
see
this guy's a black
anything,
belt.
we
Yeah.
would be glad to share our wisdom with you. But let us all return to the commune. We must not further defile the sanctity of this place. Come, I am eager to learn about you all.
All right.
Welcome to Chrysalis, friends. Feel free to explore, converse with the residents. You'll find we have much to offer. We'll speak again soon.
What an accommodating fella.
Well, this is
This
unusual.
is all very strange. You all might be into this porqueria, but I want no part of it. I am going back to the lab.
Suit yourself. All right, let's see what we can learn about where Clark's stash might be. But let's not overplay our hand, shall we? If anybody asks, our interest is purely academic.
I'm really not a good liar, Mr. Ackerman.
Shoot, nobody's asking you to lie, sugar. Just withhold
Yeah.
certain details. We're interested in learning about Clark. That's all there is to it. Come on, Danny. Let's see where our friend's gone off to.
I know lying doesn't come natural to some. For others, it's like breathing. Don't take this amiss, but if you'd like some pointers, sometimes it's good to be able to keep certain things to yourself you don't want everybody and his uncle to know.
Oh. All right.
Okay.
Make sure you don't break eye contact. Shifty eyes are a telltale sign of dishonest intent.
You seem to have a lot of experience in these matters.
I think sometimes the truth can do more harm than good. A lie can be a kindness.
Is that really what you believe?
If what someone doesn't know can hurt them, why shatter their peace? Or bring trouble down on somebody else just for principle?
Dishonesty is disrespect. For others, for God, for oneself. For instance, I would never conceal the truth from a patient, no matter how grim the outlook.
Well, I won't argue with that. A body should know what they're up against. I don't lie to hurt people. Sometimes it's just the only way.
That's good to know, I guess. Your advice is appreciated. I'll just see what I can find out on my own.
Okay. Interesting.
If the smell's anything to go by, that crate's full of fertilizer.
This is a very unusual place.
Kitchen to the left, rostrum to the right. Certainly colorful. Seems like they're pretty self-sufficient here. They have an automated irrigation.
Automated irrigation.
Suppose that's where the animals are kept.
Okay.
Not very intimidating. No wonder the crops are bare.
Isn't that the guy from before?
Well, well, if it isn't my old friend.
The Defiler returns.
Hey now, don't get your britches in a twist.
You're a guest of Emissary Paul, so I'm obliged to welcome you. But if you continue casting your shadows of discord over all that is bright here, there will be consequences.
Alright.
Now just where do you get off saying I'm casting shadows of discord or whatever?
I caught you trespassing outside the laboratory. Then your friend blasted the door off.
It was all in the name of research. I'm just as interested in all this as you.
You've a peculiar way of showing it.
Did you ever have a chance to meet Dr. Clark?
No. Nor did I desire to.
No?
Ethericity is not a power to be trifled with. I've no interest in meeting someone who treats it as a
Keeps
plaything.
casting shadows in the Discord channel.
Where did Dr. Clark end up?
Not where he should have.
Do you know any details about Dr. Clark's research?
He was toying with fire, pure and simple. He may have been inspired and driven to his work by the Luminous Ones, but he was only their tool. He did not acknowledge their undeniable glory or show them the proper respect. He took a battering ram to the door of heaven. When they tired of the noise, they whisked him away inside the gates, while the rest of us still wait outside.
So what you're saying is, you don't actually know.
I've underestimated you. I didn't think there could be someone more arrogant than Dr. Clark.
What's so special about this place that they've got you standing guard?
This building houses our collection of artifacts salvaged from Dr. Clark's laboratory.
Oh, so you're the ones who looted the place.
We did not loot it. We saved important items from obscurity and decay.
Think I might take a quick peek?
Absolutely not. Outsiders are forbidden.
So how does one go about joining your little club?
You think if you joined us that I would just suddenly allow you to enter?
Sure, you said only outsiders were forbidden.
Nice try. Not on my watch.
What if I brought you a new artifact for your collection?
Then I would be very surprised. We've already retrieved everything of value from the laboratory.
Even from that locked room?
That room is inaccessible. Do not even consider attempting to breach it.
Well, now I'm gonna attempt to breach it.
So what brought you to Chrysalis?
My personal business is none of yours.
Okay.
Touchy. I'll leave you to your guarding. Try not to die of boredom.
He seems nice.
This isn't much use with a wheel missing. Handle still looks good, at least. Excuse me?
Ah, hello. You must be one of Miss Redbird's companions.
That's right. Harley Legere.
My name's Evan. Evan Holt.
Why did you have to go and say that? No, I'm definitely gonna do it.
Evan was just showing me the cookies.
Yeah.
You know they grow or raise everything they eat here themselves?
Well, mostly. Sometimes we need to resupply from town, but we aim to be fully self-reliant. Our dedication will be rewarded with bounty.
So, are you the biscuit roller for this community, or what?
Not quite. Everyone in Chrysalis does their part. It's my day on the rota to fix breakfast.
Do you have a doctor?
We have a few skilled in healing, yes. I do wish we had more knowledge of agriculture. Our crops haven't been thriving like we hoped.
What's your story, Evan? How did you join up with these folks?
Well, like many of the others here, I was living in New Britannia. My wife was there at the etheric demonstration at the expo. I thought I'd lost her forever. But Emissary Paul found me and explained how she hadn't perished, merely transcended. At first, I didn't believe him. I wanted to throttle him, actually.
I can understand that reaction.
But I realized that in my grief, I had become blinded.
Oh, I am so sorry.
Don't be. One day I'll transcend too, and we'll be reunited in the ether.
You said your crops weren't doing well. Why not?
Getting the irrigation in this year saved some of the crop, but we're facing lean times. We simply must find a way to grow enough to feed everyone.
Did you ever meet Dr. Clark?
Alas, no. I hadn't really heard of him before the expo. I was looking at the waxed anatomical models at the Medical Marvels exhibit. But my wife said they turned her stomach, so she went to see the Etheric Pavilion instead. I don't think she really knew who Bennett Clark was either. It was just something to pass the time. If only either of us knew what a significant thing was about to happen.
The disaster that killed all those folk?
Please. That's what the ignorant and unenlightened call it.
Mm.
Emissary Paul helped me to understand. Evocator Bennett showed the world the transcendence phenomenon. It wasn't a disaster. It was a miracle. I only regret that I wasn't there, so I could have gone along with her.
Oh man. I don't think this is the healthiest way to cope, but all right.
Do you know
If
where
it's
Dr.
helping.
Clark disappeared to?
Evocator Bennett didn't disappear. He transcended.
Again, you use this word. What do you mean by it?
He passed through the Etheric Gateway and joined with the luminous ones in the cosmos.
Oh.
Yeah.
Exactly what was Dr. Clark researching?
Ethericity, of course.
Of course, but what about it? Energy sources? Industrial applications? What?
Miss Legere, I couldn't begin to tell you. Whatever reasons he may have given the public, the bankers, the professors, and what have you, his true purpose was to open the way for humanity to pass into the etheric realm. And it wasn't easy. He spent 2 years in that laboratory before transcending. Soon the day will come when we all can follow him.
We all grieve in different ways. Some of us try to remember good times, others join cults. Yep, seems like.
Your friend over there refuses to let me in to see Clark's artifacts.
Yes, Samuel is quite a stickler for the rules. Sometimes I think he lets his duties as the emissary's assistant get to his head.
It was good talking to you. I'll leave you both to it.
Goodbye for now.
See you later, Harley.
Alright. We've got more things to inspect here.
My, that's quite imaginative.
Yeah.
I think I saw this model in the latest Bulls Clearage Frontier catalog. Fancy. Is this breakfast?
It will be. I hope everyone likes it.
Full of grain, by the look of it. Quite the contraption.
Okay. The beard cult. Well, a lot of them do have beards. Interesting.
They're really fond of this butterfly motif, aren't they?
I kind of like it.
My friends, today we give thanks for our manifold blessings. On this day of celebration, the Evocator's Day of Transcendence. And why do we celebrate today, on the 8-month anniversary? Because one is nothing
8
special.
months.
One is an isolating, selfish, lowly number. But 8 is perfection. 8 is infinity.
Only if it's
8
fallen
is
over.
the flap of the butterfly's wings. On this day in March of this year, exactly 8 months ago, the luminous ones called Evocator Bennett up to join them in the luminiferous ether. In so doing, they showed us the path of light, where soon we all shall follow. Now our soul sibling Bennett dwells among them in the etheric realm beyond this earth, in a transcendent union of cosmic harmony and peace.
It does seem to imply that he's dead, though, which is interesting.
Hey, Danny?
What's going on?
So, what's our friend on stage been jabbering about?
What hasn't he? This guy makes Jake seem like a silent monk by comparison. Anyway, it's mostly been about Clark, his etheric research in New Britannia, how he built his lab out here after the Expo disaster. Excuse me, miracle, that sort of thing. He says Clark transcended. I'm not sure what that means.
I get the impression it means he's dead.
Oh, that's too bad.
What's your impression of Chrysalis?
Well, It's peculiar. Everybody's got a job to do, a way to help. Nobody's left out, and that's nice. But all this stuff about etheric beings? It sounds,
Crazy?
You said it, not me. Anyhow, I wouldn't mind hanging around a while.
I was wondering if you might help me out with something.
What?
There's a toolbox inside Clark's lab that's out of reach, and I've had no luck getting it down. Think you might put your pistols to the task? I asked Jake to do it, but he said you were the one for the job.
I could do that. Yeah, you want to go right now?
We'll do it later.
Perhaps not this very instant.
No problem. Just ask me again when you're ready.
Okay.
I'll leave you to the lecture. They seem enthralled by Paul's ramblings.
Interesting weather vane there.
The butterflies sure seem to like these flowers. A reliable water supply is everything out here. Something about that makes my skin crawl. The butterfly makes this one less creepy, but not by much. I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Ah, Harley. Miss Larkin here was just telling me about this fascinating place.
Hello and welcome. It's so nice to have visitors.
What is it you do around here?
Plenty. I help in the fields and in the kitchen, but my particular gift is keeping Chrysalis beautiful and its people inspired. All the murals and paintings you see around the commune are my work.
Oh.
And a fine job you've done.
Why, thank you.
Must have kept you busy for a while.
Quite. There's still so much I'm looking forward to doing.
How did you end up here in Chrysalis?
Ethericity always fascinated me. I joined up with the Luminarians when they were passing through Rampton on their way west. We founded Chrysalis here, close to the Evocator's laboratory, and where the veil is parted.
The veil?
The boundary between our world and the ether,
Oh.
the realm of the cosmos, home of the luminous ones. The barrier is very thin here. Can't you feel it?
There's definitely something in the air. I've noticed you all sure are fond of butterflies.
What better creature to symbolize transcendence? Like butterflies, we too will undergo a metamorphosis, pass through the veil into the ether, and join the luminous ones. Not only that, their wings have 8 sections, and they flap in a figure 8 pattern.
Does that mean something?
Evocator Bennett's sacred number, of course.
Oh.
Sacred number? What does that mean?
The number 8 is very important. It appears constantly in the Evocator's writings, and Bennett himself was born on the 8th of August, 1788.
That's quite a coincidence.
Coincidence is mere illusion.
Uh-huh.
What's the meaning behind those shadow paintings?
We commemorate those who have transcended, and those who will.
Hence the butterflies?
Very astute. Yes, the butterfly represents the immortal soul, the essence of a person in their fullest flourishing. The butterfly is pure potential, contained within those who have not yet transcended. Once someone has passed into the ether, it is released and flies free.
Why, that's mighty poetical.
I can see that you have quite a bold, brilliant butterfly stirring within you.
You don't say. You see that, do you?
If you permit me, it would be my honor to paint it. Only if you're willing, of course. Everyone's journey to transcendence is unique.
Perhaps you could tell me more about it once Harley's done talking.
With pleasure.
Did you ever meet Dr. Clark?
I did. Once. We didn't speak long, but I felt as though we'd conversed for hours.
Do you have an idea of where Dr. Clark might be currently?
Of course. He's with the luminous ones.
Pardon?
The beings on the other side of the veil. The ones who dwell in the ether.
You're saying Clark is dead?
Not dead. Transcended. Eternal. You still have much to learn. It's good you're with us now. Everything will become clear soon. Trust me.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
What exactly was Dr. Clark's etheric
Feels
research
weird.
about?
Truth.
Lovely sentiment, but could you be a bit more specific?
He sought to connect us with the world above, to unite us with the luminous ones. He succeeded in not only opening the door, but stepping through and crossing the veil. He showed that the way is possible. Now we all must learn to follow.
All right. Thanks for the chat.
Be well.
Don't wander too far now.
Could we have a word in private, Jake?
Sure. What's on your mind?
So, what have you picked up from these fine folks?
This ethericity stuff is much more complex than I thought. Seems our friend Dr. Clark may have been on to something after all.
I think I found a promising lead. There's a shack on the other side of the commune full of things salvaged from
I'm being
First
fed to
Lab.
yolks of
Only
sauce.
problem
I
is
mean,
it's being
possibly.
guarded by that first luminarian we met.
Oh, the feller with the tinfoil chapeau?
The very same. How can I get past him?
He's a peculiar one, but he seems to be the most reverent to these folk. Perhaps you could win him over with a peace offering. There might still be something in the lab that's been overlooked.
I'll just leave you to it then.
Maybe if we get into the room. Actually, I wonder if I can give him his arrowhead back. Well, I no longer need
Here,
it.
want this back?
Oh, you can hang on to it just a bit longer.
Okay, never mind then.
Hey, Danny?
What's going on?
Take me back to the lab.
Let's go see about getting that box in the lab down.
Sure thing. Just lead the way.
All right.
Ah, Phil. There you are.
Had enough of those luminous lunatics too, did you?
Not entirely. Danny's come to help get that box down. That's it, up there.
Right. You might want to stand over on this side, Phil.
All right.
Nice shot.
Thanks, Harley. Happy to help. So, what's inside that box that's so important?
Sorry to interrupt your blank staring,
I'll
Phil.
get
I know
to
he
find
does
out,
kind of
yeah.
just stare in the corner, doesn't he? Hopefully, there's something useful in here.
There's more than one way to get a box open.
Well, anything good inside?
Not really. Just a wrench and this odd dial thing.
I hope it was worth the trouble then.
That was good practice, at least. I'm heading back to...
Oops. Well, we did need a dial, come to think of it. So let's have a little look at this again. Pop that back onto here, and then we just leave that on. Oh, actually, we need to turn it to 9207. All right, flip that switch.
Phil, you might want to...
Oh my goodness.
Move.
Interesting.
Are you all right?
I think so. The cage seems to have absorbed all that energy. Just warn me before you try that again.
So, this console operates equipment by setting the dials in a 4-digit sequence. That means we need to figure out the right code to get the door open.
I mean, I'm thinking 8. 8th of August, 88. Hydration? Absolutely. And give it a go. Let's try this.
Not Clark's birthday. Good to know he wasn't quite so conceited.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Was anything in this?
February 12th, 8. Upon hearing news, when they hound after enduring one day when ration with warm P.S. How you man?
What about the date of the on Saturday? So Saturday would have been so 8th is Tuesday, 7th is Monday, 6th is Sunday, and 5th, so June 5th, 47. I'm assuming it would be American dates, so 6547. Let's give that a whirl.
Some kind of... It's a dial. No good. I guess those dials
never
aren't set
mind.
up correctly.
Okay. Right. Well, I do not have any ideas currently then.
I can't see through. Hey, Phil? Let's talk.
What about?
Any ideas what the code for the door might be?
It could be anything. Are you intending to guess it?
Unless I find it written somewhere, I don't see any other way.
Santa Maria, that could take months. If what is behind that door is so important, then the code itself must be something meaningful to Clark. Maybe you can deduce it by learning more about him. I am certain those payasos at the commune will have plenty to share.
Alright.
Right. Carry on.
Fair enough.
I will stay in here.
Whatever turning on that generator did, I hope it's not permanent.
Oh. Well.
All right then.
Hold on. Let's have a little look. Is there anywhere else we can go? It's just these two areas. Alright. Let's have a chat with some people, and actually, I might have a quick word with Nadine in private. I don't think I've talked to her fully yet either.
Nadine, could we have a word?
Of course.
You enjoying yourself here?
These are good people. I'm glad we met them.
You don't find them a bit odd?
I'll admit, I don't quite comprehend their philosophical ideas, but they've welcomed us with open arms. The least we can do is offer open minds.
I suppose that's fair.
Any ideas as to how to...
Oops.
And maintain eye contact?
Afraid this situation's a bit more complicated than that. Still good advice, though. I'll leave you to your conversation.
Okay, I wonder if he's got any more information he can give us. Any numbers?
I've got more important...
Never mind. Numbers.
They're busy.
Okay.
Best not to interrupt. Could we have a word?
Sure.
What are you using, Jake?
What's on your mind?
I got a theoretical question for you.
Shoot.
Say you needed to come up with a sequence of 4 numbers. What would you pick to make it easy to remember?
Hell, that's easy. 1817.
That didn't take you long.
It's the year I broke my first filly. If
Oh.
you get my meaning. Not something one forgets easily.
Right. I'll just leave you to it then.
Okay, he's just a year.
Hey, Danny?
What's going on?
So, where did you learn to shoot?
I, used to know some folks that were handy with pistols. They gave me a few pointers, and I just sorta picked it up.
If you had to pick a 4-digit number sequence that was easy to remember, what would you pick?
Suppose it'd be something important? A date, maybe? Or a memorable year? Never really thought about it.
I'll leave you to the lecture.
Maybe I was on the right track with the year that the Expo incident happened. But maybe it wasn't specifically the date, just the year. So if we go with 1847, that could potentially be what it is. Alright.
It's a dot.
Alright, let's try that.
No good.
Okay, was it 47 or 40? Hold on. Oops. Okay, 1847 was right. Okay. Let me just a birth year? Oh, wait, hold on. 1788?
Not Clark's birth year. Guess that would have been too obvious.
It wasn't. It definitely wasn't. Definitely wasn't the. Nothing like that.
No good.
Okay. Yeah. What year would be significant? Is there anything else on here? I don't know.
Here, in Chrysalis, at the Evocator's laboratory, and on the other side, the Luminous One. When he first arrived here, in that twice-blessed year, for never forget that 8 is the most sacred
Twice blessed
number.
year.
Evocator Bennett perhaps did not yet know that he was building a temple. But that is what it was, my friends. A temple, a lighthouse, a shining beacon in the dark. A divine instrument that would pierce the cosmic veil, letting the ether's light shine through to guide us, calling the...
I'm gonna try some different years. I'm gonna throw some years out there. So we've got it set up at 1847. Let's just try... Okay.
Fantastic.
Never mind. 1848.
Well, nothing horrible came out, shall we?
After you.
I thought that was going to take a lot more trial and error than it did. I had to move one dial.
I can't see through.
Well. Oh. Well, that's...
Santo cielo.
What in the ether happened in here?
I do not know, but I am not going in any further.
These mannequins are disturbingly lifelike. This one's posed like it's reaching for something.
Clark's research involved playing with life-size dolls? Que locura!
Ripe and juicy tomatoes. How can they grow without any soil?
Easy. Devilry.
This one's just staring at his buddy. This pumpkin is thriving, despite being sealed in here with no water or sunlight.
There is something very unnatural about all this.
Isn't there something in the Lamplight City about ethericity being used to help grow things?
This one seems to be the happiest of the bunch.
How can you tell?
It's the only one smiling. This one's missing its head. I wonder how that happened.
I can die happy never finding out.
Some huge green bean pods. These squashes look healthy. Ripe and...
There's a head.
That mannequin's head fell over here and has been wrapped up by a tomato vine.
I'll take it.
This might be of interest to our friends in Chrysalis. Completely overgrown.
Probably for the best.
Ripe and... These squashes...
Alright, I think that's everything. I wonder if he's got any comments on it.
Hey, Phil? Let's talk.
What about?
Nothing, I suppose. Never mind.
Whatever you say.
Oh, well. At the very least,
I will stay in here.
we should be able to offer this to Samuel and maybe he'll let us in. This way.
Have a look at this.
The icon of that really reminded me of the head of the Navigator.
Clark's lab. His test
from
room,
Monkey
to be
Island.
precise.
You were able to get inside?
Sure was. It was full of plants and all kinds of weird equipment. The ethericity seems to have boosted the growth of the seeds somehow. It's like a jungle in there.
I cannot condone your reckless disregard for the sanctity of the laboratory, but I also cannot deny the importance of this discovery. I must alert Emissary Paul immediately.
All right. There he goes. I guess I can get in here now.
I'd better be quick. No telling when that chump might come back. The New Britannia Gazette. The lead article is about the upcoming Lamplight City Expo. Interesting how the follow-up is nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
A bunch of scribbles documenting the effects of ethericity on plants. Some notes documenting the effects of ethericity on animals. They're signed by a Juliet Montgomery.
Juliet Montgomery was a character in Lamplight City. She was doing experiments on this.
Must be nice to actually be able to understand this stuff. Looks like a smaller version of the power generator in the lab. No effect that I can see. Some old bearded guy. The plaque says Galileo Galilei.
Interesting.
Lots more books. Mostly about technical subjects. Nothing that would help me locate Clark's stash, though. Even more books in here. Some novels, poetry books, and what's this? Looks like a diary.
Ah.
I should have known. Get out of here this instant, degenerate!
All right.
Don't you dare try any more trickery, or Emissary Paul will hear of it.
At least I found what I was looking for.
Did I take it with me? Oh, I did.
I should probably get out of Beardy's sight first.
All right, well.
The final entry.
Hey, Magnus, how's it going?
Letter. Definitely worth a read. But first.
You know what? Okay. I'll read this through and then I'm gonna save off, I think, because we have gone 3 hours, over 3 hours actually. I'm embarking on a new project, which means a new journal. Here I will record my notes and observations from a series of experiments on the generation and application of etheric energy. I believe it can be profitably harvested from the very air and harnessed for an immense number of beneficial uses. I see the streets of Lamplight City aglow, not with the smoky flicker of flame from burning costly oil, but with bright etheric light from lamps that never need fuel. I see compact, efficient etheric engines replacing the bulky and limited diffusion generators that drive Her Majesty's airships. I see our nation's mills and manufactories humming, kept in motion not with the sweat of the brow or belching flames of coal fires, but with the clean, abundant power of ethericity. The applications are limitless, but before they can be realized, I must turn my attention to the practical problem of efficient generation, not to mention safe, reliable storage. Even if the energy can be summoned from the atmosphere on demand, some intermediate storage device will be necessary to absorb the excess and release it in a controlled fashion. Absent such a mechanism, modulate the unpredictable flow of raw power. The effect would be akin to cooking one's breakfast by exploding a stick of dynamite. Tomorrow must visit Cunningham's to order glass tubes and ampules, as he always takes weeks to deliver. I hope he has magnetite on hand in sufficient quantities so I can start experimenting with it right away. But I will try the iron filings first, if not. Down to the last spool of copper wire, must pick up more. And I must stop by the offices of the Gazette soon to circulate an advertisement for a new assistant in the weekend edition. Much to do. Some days the work has been maddeningly slow, and some days it seems we advance by leaps and bounds. I am kept too busy to think often of writing in this journal, yet I've made notable progress. I built the first prototype capable of harvesting ambient etheric potential and channeling it to produce energy, in this instance heat. There is yet no flow regulation mechanism, so the entire energy yield feeds directly into a copper heating element, suspended within a water-filled cylinder affixed with a thermometer. The top is left open to vent the steam which is frequently produced in abundance. In future, naturally, the entire heating coil steam tube apparatus will be replaced with another assemblage capable of converting the ether into useful energy to generate light, say, or mechanical motion. The prototype does not appear capable as yet of generating heat beyond the material's tolerance. However, I have reached the limits of this particular configuration, without hazarding a face full of superheated steam on shattered glass. I cannot say with confidence, even now, that a random harmonic flux in the atmosphere could not cause a sudden spike in etheric energy that would produce such a result. Now the principle is proven, we must experiment with introducing a regulator to throttle and control the flow for both safety and practicality. There remains the not inconsequential matter of funding. It has taken longer than anticipated to reach even this early milestone. Beyond the initial outlay for equipment, I had not accounted for the necessity of covering rent on the old Turnbull Street storehouse, nor the wages of my assistant Frank for so long a term. I've already removed Mrs. Gladstone's modest but comfortable lodgings to the garret over the storehouse, a move which has proved economical as regards to both money and time, if rather less satisfactory in the matter of board. I fear I did not give Mrs. Gladstone's Sunday Rose quite the credit I now realize in want of them was their due. Oh, pages here. Despite the savings thereby afforded, my meagre reserves will soon be depleted at this rate unless I can produce a benefactor to relieve me of these pecuniary obligations. At Frank's instigation, I have embarked on a program of fortnightly public demonstrations of our apparatus. A brief lecture on the principles of ethericity, followed by a practical display of the generator's operation, is offered to all comers, or as many as will fit within the storehouse free of charge. I confess that at first I regarded this pageantry as a distraction. Stretch, I can do that. From the work, a senseless bit of spectacle to dazzle me, simple tradesfolk and labourers who occupy this district. However, Frank persuaded me that attracting an investor would require some measure of transparency as to my research. While it is true that most who attend my presentations come seeking thrills rather than any intellectual or financial engagement, putting on these shows has allowed word to spread, and some are beginning to take notice. Last month's published Proceedings of the Vespuccian Royal Society of Natural Philosophy contained a mention of rumours of research into the generation of etheric power by Mr. Clerk of Turnbull Street. I leave aside that they misspelled my name and omitted my title. Not everyone can pay society dues and have their credentials indelibly observed. But they know enough of my work to have it spoken of in those lofty chambers of knowledge and opportunity, and that is what matters. And since they did accurately remark the address of my laboratory, perhaps one or two of those learned gentlemen might be persuaded to visit and see my work for themselves. I shall pen a letter to the Society's secretary at once. Okay, we're in 1847 now. With the introductions and encouragement lately extended by Dr. Netherzole, second vice president of the VRSNP, I have secured connections sufficient to gain my place in an etheric pavilion to be installed at Lamplight City Global Expo this very summer. Not only will I have the opportunity to demonstrate my etheric generator before a grand public audience, as a condition of my participation, Harmon and Grove, chief sponsors of the exhibit, have tasked me with consulting on the designs of the pavilion in terms of requirements as to technical equipment, layout, accommodations for visitors, tens of thousands expected, and so forth. There's so much to be done and prepare. Tuning of the flow regulator remains the utmost priority. We still have some months left to resolve the superheating issue. I have high hopes for the finer gauge electrum filament. It strikes me that whatever investments and explorations these firms have heretofore conducted in the sphere of ethericity, there are really very few individuals to whom they might turn who have any measure of practical experience extending beyond the realm of pure theory, and yet I had to go begging, hat in hand, to them for the opportunity to take part in their exhibition. Absent my generator, which can produce energy at a fraction of the cost of electricity and with none of the polluting infrastructure, there would be nothing to present in their pavilion but promises and fairy stories of a future not yet in evidence. But I must not bristle up indignities and be grateful for my good fortune. At last, the world will see the power of ethericity revealed. Horrors beyond uttering. I can hardly bring myself to write them here. Frank. Poor Frank. We have oh my god, there's a lot. There is a lot here. Okay. Okay, we're gonna get through it. Hydration. Will do. Thank you, Pego. Your mother will not open the door to me, and I cannot say I fault her for that. I will send her your 3 months' wage by post. A paltry sum for a life, but all I have to offer. I spent the past 2 days sealed in Turnbull Street. Every waking moment spent checking and rechecking my prototypes and consulting my research notes, seeking any error or miscalculation. What went wrong? The flow regulator had exhibited irregularities before, but all within tolerance. Nothing on the scale of that. Taco cam? Can do. Thank you very much. The police will neither return nor allow me to access the remains of the exhibition model. If only I could inspect it, I might find a manufacturing flaw or defect in material that could cause a catastrophe. Or, though I should have to turn my thoughts in this direction, perhaps some sign of sabotage. There are many who would delight to see me fail. Angry crowds dog my steps wherever I venture, whenever I venture beyond my door, reinforcing my voluntary seclusion. At every moment I expect the constables to arrive with irons. I have a growing suspicion that some handsome sum was discreetly paid by one of the sponsors to suppress public scandal associated with the event. If so, I am by happenstance the fortunate beneficiary of these maneuverings and owe to them my present liberty. But what use is my liberty without my work? There on stage at the pavilion I felt myself briefly a colossus of science, standing astride the world, with a shining future spread out before me. Now it has all crumbled in one blinding burst of light. The inquest is complete, and my name cleared. I bear no formal responsibility for the deaths at the Expo, in the eyes of the city of New Britannia at least. I'm going to read a whole book of stream. It's fine, we're getting there, we're getting to it. Her people are not so gracious. Labour rights in Parliament are taking advantage of this public furor to press all the more stridently for a blanket ban on etheric research, which I am certain the Prime Minister will be all too glad to sign into law. I'm aware of a dark irony in the fact that my exoneration in the matter has likely only lent strength to their arguments, for if I am not some murderous monster guilty of horrific malpractice, then Etherecy itself must be dangerously unstable and unsafe, beyond the power of any man to control. Fools! If they knew but what miraculous possibilities, they foreclose with their ignorance and fear. Sometimes a scientific truth emerges, which the world is not yet ready to hear. Was not Galileo denounced as a heretic in his day, only to be vindicated by generations yet unborn? A pur se mauve. I don't exactly know what that's saying. It is clear that whatever I am to do next, I cannot do it here. I must leave the city. I will go west. Even if total prohibition becomes the law of the land, the law's hold is somewhat looser in the nation's virgin fringes, far from the Grand Maison and the chambers of Parliament. The desert has traditionally offered refuge for visionaries and hermit eccentrics, and continue my work there, away from the throngs. I've come too far and glimpsed too much to give up now. The road of progress was never a smooth one. I have tumbled over a tremendous stumbling block, but I will pick myself up and carry on. Ad occidentum. My new laboratory, my hermitage, my sanctuary of science in the wilderness is complete. Moving out here has been an adjustment. For want of the various municipal amenities upon which I was accustomed to rely, my resourcefulness has been sorely tried. For ample hydration, for bodily needs as well as hydraulic pressure and cooling of my apparatus, I have been obliged to construct a rudimentary water tower. Even the illumination which, living in Lamplight City, I'd taken for granted, I must now provide, and I've taken to dipping my own candles with spare wax and cotton thread. These labours I undertake alone, unwilling to venture so far as engaging another assistant. But solitude was not the point of this relocation. But solitude was the point of this relocation, was it not? I do believe the desert climate agrees with me. I have certainly found it more conducive to work without interruptions at all hours. The San Bernardo Valley vistas offer quite an inspiring change from the clogged alleys and foggy horizons of New Britannia. I am not wholly severed from my fellow man. The small settlement of Rosewater is but a short distance away, should I need to call upon any of civilization's necessities. While I was timid for my reception at first, I found the people there rather more open-minded than those back east, and have begun giving occasional lectures and demonstrations for small audiences. If these simple-hearted frontier folk can yet be won over, and taught to admire and yearn for the transformative potential of Ethericity, then perhaps there is hope for the rest of the nation in time. In the desert I am made anew. My sins are wiped clean by scouring sands. I begin again. This is the last couple of pages. The fools! They've done it! They have sliced off their own nose and stamped upon it as they lay bleeding in the dust for spite. Our Prime Minister, having won a re-election in defiance of all decency and good sense, has moved swiftly to deliver on his campaign promises and signed a total and immediate ban on all practical research, experimentation, and development of etheric technology. It is a dark age we live in, and thanks to Leroy and those Labourite technophobes, it will stay that way. It is not yet clear what the repercussions will be out here, so far from the halls of power. I have no wish to tempt fate, and I've ceased all public display of my work. But will they remember the mad Dr. Clark, the erstwhile wizard of ethericity, and his self-imposed desert exile? Will they come looking for me? Like a scuttling bug, I must keep to the shadows and hope to escape notice. It is the only way forward. One day, I hope to deliver the fire of ethericity to man, and lift him up from darkness and keep him in comfort and splendor. For this deed, I can hope that my punishment will be less severe than that which Prometheus endured. My work continues. Interesting. As I was drawing, I felt like I was listening to an audiobook. I am glad that I didn't trip over too many words then.
February 9th, 1850.
Thank goodness.
That's only 9 months
This
ago.
one is read for
I
me.
have a business proposal. Relinquish that dusty laboratory in the middle of nowhere. Come to El Presidio. You may stay in my suite at the Jolly Good Club. My Orem Star membership and military rank afford me certain privileges. You will be furnished with the comforts owing to a man of your intellect and accomplishments.
It's signed L.
P.S. You needn't have any concern for your valuables, as there is ample secure storage in the room. One of the aforementioned perks.
Interesting. Jake will want to see this.
L sounds a lot like right. Okay. Sure.
What in the ether is going on here?
Miss Larkin was kind enough to offer to paint my shadow.
In the altogether?
Well, didn't want to get my clothes dirty.
Besides, I paint the soul. The subject must bear himself and discard all excess.
All right. Do you want to read this?
Jake, I've got something to show you.
So, show me.
I'd prefer to speak in private.
Can't it wait? I'm a mite indisposed at the moment.
It's to do with what we've been looking for.
Ah, well, in that case, excuse me a moment, won't you, darling?
Okay, thank God his clothes are back
All right,
on.
what do you got?
I found Clark's journal. Have a look at this letter that was inside.
An invitation to the Jolly Good Club in El Presidio?
Yep. Check the date.
9 months ago. Ah, nice sleuthing, Harley. Let's round up the others and say our goodbyes. We need to plan our next steps.
Leaving us so soon? But you've only just arrived.
We appreciate the hospitality, but it's time we moved on.
If your journey must continue, then so be it. But we cannot thank you enough for your discovery of Evocator Bennett's etheric cultivator, Miss Legere. Once we relocate and configure the equipment, our crops will surely flourish.
That's great to hear. I hope you'll all be well fed this winter.
Know that you will always find welcome in Christmas. Farewell, my friends.
All right.
Odd bunch of folks, but quite charming in their way.
This was an intriguing diversion, but now the real work starts.
How do you mean?
Harley turned up Clark's diary.
More importantly, I found a letter inside inviting him to the Jolly Good Club in El Presidio. It was dated 9 months ago.
That's right about the time he disappeared, isn't it?
It is indeed. I'd say it's obvious that the good doctor accepted the invitation.
And took his money with him?
Well, it ain't here or in his lab. And what's that postscript in the letter say, Harley?
You needn't have any concern for your valuables, as there is ample secure storage in the room.
Don't get much clearer than that.
Okay.
So we're following him to El Presidio? That's a long way from here. We sure this isn't going to be a dead end?
You saw for yourself right there in black and white. Clark went to El Presidio, and so we go where the trail leads us. First and foremost, we need some transportation.
You haven't got any? Don't you tour around?
Sure, but our show wagon ain't gonna fit all of us.
Plus, we'll need it to store all the
Yeah,
show's
yeah.
props and
As long as it's not
equipment while we're
explicit
gone.
news,
There's
it's
that
all
lady
it's
in
usually
town with a
fine.
wagon now. Heard her talking at the
Even
saloon.
so, if it's
Said
part of the
she
game,
hires
it's
it out
never
to
usually a
travelers.
problem.
Sounds promising. Who is she?
Her name's Lola Johnson. I think she stays in the old blacksmith shop.
Lola Johnson, huh?
You know her?
Not personally, but I've heard of her.
We stole a watch from her.
We should head back to Rosewater, no?
Yeah, let's get a move on. Right. Harley, I'm putting you in charge of hiring us some transportation. Danny and I are going back to the theater to settle some business. Come get us once you've arranged a ride.
And just how am I meant to arrange it? Financially speaking?
Ah, well, now that may get a mite tricky. Our contract was to pay out at the end of the show's run, but seeing as we'll be breaking that contract, I'm sad to say we'll be forfeiting those proceeds. Anybody else got funds to contribute to the kitty?
Not unless this Johnson woman accepts pesos. And I've few enough of those at that.
I'm afraid I haven't got anything either.
Harley, my dear, I'm afraid we must then prevail upon you to furnish the petty cash needed to get our expedition aloft.
Oh, fun.
Seeing as you're the only other one of our posse who's currently in the position of being gainfully employed. And it goes without saying, but you'll be fully reimbursed once we find what we're looking for, on top of your share, with interest.
I certainly hope so.
Wonderful. Well then, we'll be seeing you later.
All right.
What about you two?
I think I'll pay Dr. Sedgwick a visit. It's been ages.
And I owe him proper thanks for his care.
See you in a bit, Harley.
All right then. If that's everything, I think I'm gonna. I'm gonna save off there, and we're gonna close things off. Everything? How shocking! Yeah, it usually goes that way, doesn't it? But thank you, people, for joining me on the first session of Rosewater today. This has been a tremendous amount of fun. I'm looking forward to playing more of it. I'm really intrigued by the mystery, and I'd like to know more. Let's go back into full cam. Oop, there we go. I'm going to see if Weird is still going, because if so, I might be able to raid him. He's either going... Is he gonna... You know, he's still going for a little bit, so I'm going to raid him real quick. I'm going to raid him real fast. I will... I'll see you guys on Wednesday for the last episode of Back to the Future, and then I'm taking a little break to go away, but I'll be back on the 8th with some more streaming. Take care, everybody. It's been a wonderful stream. I'm looking forward to doing more of this. So yeah, more of this soon. Finishing off Back to the Future. And we'll also be starting Soul Reaver relatively soon as well. So good night, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful evening. And I hope the weekend was good too. See you later.